The people of South Sudan, Salam Jak Alas Ya Jama. That's the thing. There's no need to go for war anymore. We have peace. It's so exciting. I mean, I'm feeling it everywhere. Thank you, Lovex.
Yes, we are really very grateful for this peace. Yeah, and today that is why we have done so much like this. Even I cannot able to express myself. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, viewers. You're still watching us live on SSBC, and this is from Dr. John Garang Museum. People are happy. Even me, I'm happy too. As we sing, as we dance, the traditional groups are many, and they are still coming. Different groups, different communities are here, and they are saying yes for peace, no for war. And this is what is happening. This is what is happening. Viewers, the atmosphere, the environment is just very, very unique. It is so colorful. It is so fantabulous. As you can see, some of the traditional groups from Latuko, they are also coming. They are coming. As you could see them. As you could see them. Mama Ke, ita morta salam ja.
Ana kwala morta.
Gori kere salam gori.
Ana de. Lej bany. Lej bany John Garang ma biuratim. Am ji tonda jang ya tore. Ku kwany mana ga kwany ji banyin kir ma yadi. Ber bu John Garang ma biuratim ay dong pin ka kir ma yar. Syukuran an pumier ka Junub Sudan. Ay! Balwel ka wayawal.
She's happy, and this is what is happening. This is what is happening, viewers, and you can see different traditional groups from South Sudan. And Mama is in
My name Elizabeth Nyadarit.
Yes, Elizabeth.
أنا بقول هيدا نفران هيدا بسلام بتهيدا جنوب السودان الليلة أنا فران شديد صوبادة كني جنن يامار كلاية صوبادة كني جنن يامار كلاية يوم جاي
Shukran, Mama. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Leandro Lotoka, and we're still in our studios, and of course we're talking about the peace celebration that is taking place at the Dr. John Garang Mausoleum here in the capital, Juba. And with me in the studio is Deng Mading from the SPLM. Well, of course, he's shedding light on the celebration that is taking place in the country. We're looking at the country which is literally at the celebration mood. You have seen from the people who are talking that the local population, this common man, what do you see?
Yeah, actually this is a very good indication that the nation now is coming up to express themselves in diversity of cultures. And you see, the diversity of cultures is the strength of South Sudan. And if we use it properly, like the way now we see the identity of all the tribes living in South Sudan, this is the real building of the nation into unity, in which later on we will be building the state. But without recognizing the cultures, then we will be no identity, we will not know who is who and who is what. But now, under one umbrella, which is one flag, and we have to keep all these cultures because these are the richest things that we can conserve and protect for the nation later on in the future if we want to build a nation.
Mr. Mading, even as we celebrate in Juba, and you sit in the operation room of the ruling party, SPLM, what is the atmosphere like in the country, security-wise, for example?
Yeah, security-wise, of course, the country is quiet now because we know even you don't see now the militants here. simply because they are assigned. All the various units of security organs, all have been deployed everywhere in the country to keep peace, and then nobody come out complaining at the end of the day. So we celebrate, all of us, and that is really a big sacrifice from them. Today you can't see them now, and now they are working under the ground, protecting the people all across the country. So I'm seeing now the security is very quiet. Second to that, the SPLM actually is not only a political movement group or a political party. It is a people revolution party where everybody from South Sudan has participated. So if you ignore the SPLM and you think you can solve the problem of South Sudan, then you are mistaken, because the whole movement is about the people of South Sudan. So it is a glue that can bind the whole South Sudan to become under one country. Which
but somebody will say, you say this is a glue that binds the people, but it is this party that threw the country into mess in 2013.
We need to differentiate between the individual, ambitions, and then the institution itself. The individual ambitions, of course, about the power struggle, you cannot control. Like some of now are dropping out because the institution is moving like a vehicle, and then some are dropping on the way, and that's how, of course, the institution can grow. The institution cannot grow without casualties. And these are the casualties of the movement. Those who have not seen to be disciplined, they are dropping out. And that is why we see still SPLM, whatsoever the case, in differences we have seen in 1994, 1991, we have seen in 2015, still we come back to be one people, because there is no way else that you will go and look for another identity in a different country. It will be difficult for you to even to enjoy your political right and whatever you want to do, except only you have to come back to the SPLM mother.
One thing that has been really, after the agreement was signed, there were still these elements of hate speech on social media and even on the ground. But okay, before you answer this question, we will go to Dr. John Garang Moseliam, and the event officially is starting there. Let's listen to the speeches there.
Okay. The President of the Republic of Sudan, His Excellency Mohammed Abdullah Mohammed, the President of the Federal Minister of the Republic of Egypt, Excellency, the leaders of South Sudan, His Excellency, African ambassadors, diplomatic representatives in South Sudan, United Nations, African Union, international organizations, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols is for good afternoon. It was June 2017 that the IGAD head of state and government decided to revitalize the agreement to resolve the conflict in South Sudan. As you all know, peace is love, peace is life, peace is the gate to development and prosperity. It is a great pleasure for me to be here with you to celebrate the peace in South Sudan. This is a great day for the IGAD region, the African continent at large. This is the achievement of many, and I would like to mention a few. I want to start with the former president of Botswana, His Excellency Festus Mogai, the chairperson of Guinea, and who started and let the ball roll. The IGAD head of state and government who jointly moved together to assist their sister nation, South Sudan, to gain security in their country and for their people. Then I would like to mention the leaders of South Sudan who did their best this to happen. Then they deserve a special recognition for their commitment also to implement this peace agreement. I would also like to Japan, Legal Partners Forum, and the international community as large, who stood with regard to accomplish this huge task to bring peace to South Sudan. Finally, a special thanks goes to a very remarkable people of our region. His Excellency Salva Kiir, the President of the Republic of South Sudan, who said yes to peace and did everything possible to resolve his conflict. He also would like to mention the great role played by His Excellency Umar Hassan al-Bashir and His Excellency Yoweri Museveni, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, and at last the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, who gave them the role to play and the chance to show to do something great for this region, His Excellency Abiy Ahmed. It's not a day for great words and long talks. Let us celebrate together and enjoy the day. Peace for South Sudan, and long live the people of South Sudan, long live South Sudan. Thank you very much.
نعم نعم مشاهدينا الكرام، كانت تلك نشاهد الآن احتفالات جنوب السودان، جنوب السودان بتوقيع اتفاقيات السلام التي تمت في الخرطوم بحضور أيضا رؤساء بعض الدول ومندوبي بعض الدول الأفريقية في جوبا على الاتفاقية إلى ضرورة الالتزام بتنفيذ بنودها على أرض الواقع. وأيضا ناشد السيد وايس المجتمع الدولي للوقوف خلف شعب جنوب السودان، ثم أرسل صوت الشكر لجهات عديدة وكثيرة. الآن أنقلكم إلى المنصة.
Excellencies, distinguished personalities, all protocols out there. Let me pass and foremost on behalf of the chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Musa Faki Mahamat, who would have liked to be here today, but due to prior engagement, he couldn't make it. And has sent me to convey celebration with concrete action that will definitely usher in the people of the Republic of South Sudan on the path to sustainable democracy, respect for human rights, sustainable peace, and development in the country. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I have no doubt this well-thought and timely peace celebration provides the requisite opportunity for useful interaction between and amongst the parties with a view to putting all the South Sudanese on the same level of understanding of the key issues of the ongoing peace process and the need for durable peace in South Sudan. Furthermore, it is an occasion that can be used to deepen trust and confidence among South Sudanese. For this peace agreement is Africa-made, made in Africa. African solution to African problem. In view of this, by faithfully implementing the bilateral agreement, you are putting the interests of your beloved country ahead of yours. It is AU's view that South Sudan is bigger than an individual. This celebration here will serve our legacy for generations to come. Once again, I commend the organizer for affording the general public this unique event that has a far-reaching impact to the country and beyond. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to briefly express African Union's appreciation for some milestones registered by the parties since the signing of the formation of various committees and mechanisms, including the pre-transition national committee, tasked with the responsibility of implementing activities focused on pre-transition. The presidential order number 17, given by His Excellency Comrade Salva Kiir for the release of all political prisoners and the prisoners of war in the country, and the subsequent release of that reflecting the national character of the country. AU welcomes and appreciates the milestone achieved so far by the parties to the agreement. However, more needs to be done and time is in light of this, African Union is encouraging all parties to the agreement to put aside their differences by the peace accord in order to end the suffering of innocent citizens for life free of violence, sexual exploitation, abuse, economic stagnation, as well as food insecurity. In fact, South Sudan is too rich to remain on a begging spree. And the proper management of its immense resources, it is a matter of time it will be a donor country. Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, the citizens of South Sudan deserve all partners and the friends of South Sudan, including the international community, to continue implementing the revitalized agreement to the letter and the spirit.
Comrade Presidents, Excellency, I would like us to pause and reflect on the following. 1. As leaders, we should be ready and willing to bridge differences, build mutual trust, and initial long-term reforms in South Sudan. We should not frustrate the very high expectation raised by the citizen in these trying times that peace has come to stay. This attitude here speaks a lot. Now that we have achieved peace and here is to stay, we should be ready to embrace and welcome our 4 million compatriots who have been displaced because of the conflict. Excellencies, while we are reflecting on the above as food for thought, I urge South Sudanese leaders to rise to the occasion and not to shatter the hopes and aspirations of the citizens of this young but great country in Africa. Whereas it is true that this agreement may not be 100% perfect, however, there is a need for it to be supported by all stakeholders. In this connection, AU appeals to the IGAD leadership to continue tirelessly supporting the South Sudanese parties to successfully implement the revitalized agreement. In the same vein, AU calls upon and encourages the international community to support the implementation of this agreement. Peace is better than war. In conclusion, AU believes that the revitalized agreement provides the South Sudanese yet another opportunity to end the war in the country. Judging by what is happening in the country since the signing of this agreement, there is already strong desire by the people to see the restoration of peace and embark on socio-economic development. The general public is tired of the reckless war and are yearning for peace. The guns must be silenced. In this respect, the peace agreement, the peaceful and positive atmosphere so far created by the revitalized agreement and the very hosting of this celebration must be nurtured and cherished. I wish to assure you African Union's willingness and readiness to genuinely support the people and the government of South Sudan for the full implementation of the revitalized agreement. AU stands by you as South Sudanese. You should not let us down as history will judge you. It is time to walk the talk. It is time for peace. Let us make peace as South Sudanese, for all to realize their full potentials for a life worth living in South Sudan. This is your agreement. You should own and honor it. No turning back. Enough is enough. Never again. Let us not be prisoners of our own history. Embrace each other and build new South Sudan. As for our brothers and sisters who are still in the bush and beyond, some being bitten by mosquitoes and vulnerable to different hazards, and those with reservation in diaspora must make hard decisions to return to their motherland. For as the adage goes, east or west, home is the best. The revitalized train is on the move. Comrade Salva Kiir, Dr. Riek Machar, and other compatriots are in charge. Better late than never. Don't miss the train. it can be done. Play your part. May God bless you all. Asanteni sana. Vata mwamasedinalo. Muchas gracias. Muito obrigado. Merci beaucoup and thank you.
Many thanks.
شكرا ممثل الاتحاد الافريقي في جنوب السودان الأمباسادور او سفير بروفيسور جورام ام بيشارو. يمكن استمعنا لكلمه بتاعه وهو ادى تحدي لرئيس الجمهوريه ولرياض مشار عشان ما يخطوا تاريخ جنوب السودان. الان نستمع لديفيد شيرر ممثل الامم المتحده.
I'd like to acknowledge His Excellency's heads and presidents of member states who are visiting us here in Juba today. A special acknowledgement to the representatives of the parties to the revitalised peace agreement who have travelled here to Juba today. Excellencies, distinguished guests and citizens of South Sudan. It is my privilege today to represent the United Nations on behalf of the Secretary-General at this historic event to celebrate the signing of the revitalised agreement on the resolution of the conflict in South Sudan. For those of us who have seen firsthand the impact of the fighting on the ground and met those who have suffered the most, we would not have believed 6 months ago that this day was possible. To see parties that have previously been divided by violence coming together here in Juba in a public sign of unity sends a strong message to the citizens of this country that you are genuinely committed to ending the suffering and building durable peace. We thank you for that commitment and your continuing efforts to work together in the pursuit of enduring peace for the sake of your people. I want to pay a special tribute to the regional leaders, particularly the heads of IGAD, and specifically to the governments and the leaders of Sudan and Uganda, President al-Bashir and President Museveni, who played a crucial role in securing the agreement and who continue to champion its full implementation. Some clashes still persist in the country, in parts of the country. But overall levels of fighting have reduced. And very simply, that reduction has meant that fewer people have died, more humanitarian goods have flowed to those who need them the most, and people once again can get on with planning for their own future. There is much hard work ahead to realise this agreement to ensure that it is fully implemented. And the key ingredient, I would suggest, that is needed at every step is trust. The personalities who signed the agreement have in the past been former friends, but also former foes. So the big challenge ahead is to build trust and confidence between the parties and between the parties and their people. And this is not just a job for the signatories, it's beholden on all of us here today, whether we be civil society, women and youth, religious leaders, international community, to generate trust that peace can flourish. The international community will be expected to play its role. I believe its engagement will be persuaded by a demonstration of political will by the parties to implement the agreement. Let me assure you, the United Nations we will stand alongside the parties as they move forward in peace. We will use our resources and our presence across the country to support reconciliation and peace building. It is my hope that we will reach the day in the not too distant future when the presence of UNMISS is no longer required and it can depart, leaving my colleagues here from the UN agencies to help secure South Sudan's development. In 2011, the citizens of South Sudan celebrated the historic achievement of independence and recognition as the world's newest nation. Sadly, the hopes and dreams of that moment were lost in the outbreak of war that has plagued this country for 5 long years. This ceremony is a chance for the leaders here to restore that hope and to secure a peaceful and prosperous future for their people. Have a wonderful day and enjoy celebrating peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency David Shearer. We will have a short interlude of entertainment from our singer, Ms. Vivian Nyachan. Vivian Nyachan, give us just one song, Nyachan.
الكرام مشاهدي SSBC، ونحن ننقل لكم هذا الحدث على الهواء مباشرة. وكنا قبل قليل قد استمعنا إلى ممثلين من الاتحاد الأفريقي، حيث تحدث نيابة عن رئيس الاتحاد الأفريقي الذي أكد دعم الاتحاد الأفريقي لسلام جنوب السودان، وكذلك انتهز سيادته الفرصة ليدعو الجميع للعمل من أجل الوحدة والاستقرار. وأكد ممثل الاتحاد الأفريقي أن هذه الاتفاقية بمثابة حل أفريقي خالص وقد صنعه الأفارقة بأيديهم. نعم، وأيضا اعتبر ممثل الاتحاد الأفريقي أن هذا الاحتفال الذي يقام اليوم في جنوب السودان بمثابة الإرث الذي سيخلفه شعب اليوم أو الذين يحيون الآن للأجيال القادمة. واستعرض ممثل الاتحاد الأفريقي الإنجازات والخطوات التي سارت عليها الاتفاقية منذ التوقيع عليها وحتى هذه اللحظة، ولعل أبرز هذه الإنجازات هي إطلاق سراح المعتقلين السياسيين. وجدد سيادته إشادة الاتحاد الأفريقي بالنجاحات التي أحرزت. وأيضا تحدث ممثل الأمم المتحدة، حيث أكد أن الأمم المتحدة عبر كافة منظماتها ووكالاتها تساند وتقف خلف شعب جنوب السودان وتدعم حكومة جنوب السودان لتنفيذ هذه الاتفاقية. نعم، الآن أحيل الميكروفون إلى المنصة، حيث السيد غابرييل تشانغ سون شان ممثل تحالف الأحزاب السياسية الجنوبية المعارضة.
The President of the Republic, Your Excellencies, the Presidents and leaders of the IGAD countries, on behalf of South Sudan Opposition Alliance, SUA, I'm going to make some few remarks. Salam wiye! Salam wiye! هل دارين ترجع للحرب؟ ما دارين ترجع للحرب؟ قل لا للحرب، نعم للسلام. اليوم جينا كمعارضة جنوب السودان بدون شروط. ممكن نقول ممكن نقول إنه رئيس سلفا لو جينا بيده يجي يمسكنا ويودينا في بلو هاوس، لكن من أجل السلام لا بد إنه you have to sacrifice. So we came here as SUA to register our commitment to the peace agreement we signed in September this year. We will honor our part. We will honor our part, and we will work hand in hand with other groups to make sure that that dark history is a foregone past. Today, we are here to make another commitment for peace. And I have some few messages. We are happy that all of you who have been suffering, the downtrodden people of South Sudan, are here today to witness our commitment as political leaders and as political parties that your suffering will no longer go on. And to do that, we must do a number of things. And our message as SUA to the warring parties is that let us stop the war by silencing the guns. Let us fully commit ourselves to the implementation of this agreement, so that with this agreement, then the people of South Sudan can see the light at the end of the tunnel. To our IGAD partners who help us reach this stage, we also appeal to them to say that continue speaking with one voice so that this agreement can be fully implemented. It is your brainchild, and it would be very difficult for you to let us alone. Support us politically, support us financially, and support us materially. Because if this agreement succeeds and there is peace in South Sudan, then there will equally be peace in the Horn of Africa. To our international partners, yes, you may have reservations about what we have signed, but you always say Rome was not built in a day. We have to build on this peace to build more confidence and to bring more positive results out of this peace. Then the challenge is on you. You have been speaking loud and clear that you are standing with the people of South Sudan. If that is true, then you stand with the people of South Sudan by supporting this agreement. Because this agreement will end their suffering. And not only that, there is a lot of money being spent on the humanitarian services in South Sudan, on IDPs, on refugees. That money can be cut into half or even more than half if you support the peace process, politically, financially, and materially. That is the challenge you have to join the peace process. We are going to engage you. For the people of South Sudan, you, those who are standing here, you have a very important role. If you don't know it, you play it. What is it? You have demonstrated to us that you are for peace. Make peace marches all over the country. Reconcile among yourselves and close the chapter, that dark chapter we have passed through. It is you to do it. You also challenge us as your leaders, as your political leaders. If we are going astray, tell us enough is enough. You have the power. For we, those who are on the podium, we have created this mess in which we are in. I think by coming today and talking to you, we have recognized that we made mistakes and that those mistakes must be corrected. And they must be corrected by us. Before I conclude, I think this celebration today has been made possible by those who have South Sudan at heart. And I think we need to give them a real big thanks. And these are, the IGAD as a whole have been engaging us to reach this far. We thank them for their engagement. And on the top of the IGAD countries, I think this peace was brokered in Entebbe in July this year by the very two presidents who are with us today, President al-Bashir and President Yoweri Museveni. Please let us give them a vote of thanks. Without them, we would not be here. President Bashir also went further to hold a peace conference in Khartoum at the Republican Palace, where he issued medals for President Kiir and Dr. Riek Machar. That is a commitment of a neighbor who wishes you to be well. And I think with this peace agreement, if it survives, and I'm sure it will, then there will also be peace in Sudan and in the whole region. God bless South Sudanese. Thank you.
Many thanks to you.
نعم مشاهدينا الكرام، كانت تلك كلمة السيد غابرييل شانغ سون شانغ ممثل تحالف الأحزاب السياسية الجنوبية في المعارضة، حيث تحدث حول أهمية دعم الاتفاقية في كافة النواحي، وناشد المجتمع الدولي للوقوف خلف الاتفاقية، وأيضا أكد التزام تحالف الأحزاب السياسية لجنوب السودان. الآن ننتقل إلى المنصة الرئيسية.
His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan and the host of this historical event, His Excellency Yoweri Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir, President of the Republic of Sudan, His Excellency Mohammed Abdullah Mohammed, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, Her Excellency Salih Worki Zudi, President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, His Excellency Mustafa Kamal Mudbuli, Prime Minister of Egypt, His Excellency the First Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan, His Excellency Vice President
of the Republic of South Sudan, Right Honorable Speaker of the Transitional National Legislature, Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic of South Sudan, His Excellency David Sherer, Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General to Sudan and South Sudan, His Excellency Ambassador Professor Joram Biswaro, representative of the African Union, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow compatriots, Assalamu alaikum. أنا كتبت رسالة بتاعي باللغة الإنجليزية، ولكن أنا عايز أتكلم بعربي في بعض من الفقرات. أنا أول حاجة عايز أشكر الرئيس الفكير لأنه وجه دعوة لنا كلنا في المعارضة عشان احنا نجي نحتفل معاكم هنا في جوبا. في أول قلنا والله القانون الاتفاقية بقول احنا بنمشي جوبا بعد 8 شهور، ولكن لو في احتفال زي ده يا اخوانا ده منو ما بيجي. نحن لازم نجي، نحن لازم نجي ليه؟ لأن لو جينا بعد 8 شهور بعد منكم يقول والله يا أخي الناس ديل ما عايزين سلام. نحن عايزين سلام، قلبنا في سلام زيكم. أصلا لما نحن بنشوفكم بعد منكم هناك برقصوا، هو زاد ما فاضي بالكلام اللي احنا عايزين نقوله هنا، بس عايز يسمع كلمة واحدة. أنا في سلام. جزول التعبان ويمكن جا من الصباح هو عايز يسمع صحيح الجماعة ديل هيجوا طيب نحن جينا أول شيء نحن عايزين نأكد لكم السلام ده في قلبنا، نحن عايزين ننفذ السلام ده. نحن عايزين نأكد لكم أن إننا إرادة سياسية قوية جدا بأن بلدنا دي ترجع للسلام. هسه إذا في زول ما جاء في ميدان الحرية ده قولوا أولاي أنا شفت بيني لأن في ناس بيفتكر وأنا ما ممكن أجي بالأحداث اللي حصلت في 2016. زول طلع وطلوع كان صعب، بس أهم شيء نحن وقعنا اتفاقية سلام. أولا بديناه في في الخرطوم، ونحن مشيناه وتميناه في أديس، ونحن لفينا دول ديل عشان نبحث في سلام. هسه نحن وجدنا سلام نمسك فيه، كلنا نمسك فيه في سلام. أنا ما جيت براي جبال سميدو من أبدان قال مفروض في اثنين قادة أحزاب أخرى مفروض تتكلم، ولكن لضيق الزمن هم قالوا ما هيتكلموا، ولكن رسالتنا واحدة، نحن مع السلامة. نحن جينا كتار، لو كان في زمن كان أنا بوري لكم الناس الجمعي ناس آيو في حوالي 50 نفر قاعدين هنا، هم جو التحالف عندهم ناسهم، الFDs كمان عندهم ناسهم، الأحزاب الأخرى كمان جو بناس. نحن جينا عشان نأكد لكم نحن مع السلام. أنا عايز أتحول لإنجليزي لأن إننا ضيوف يمكن ما بيعرفوا اللغة اللي احنا بنتكلمها. Your Excellencies, following the collapse of the first agreement, SPLM-SPLA has been calling for a political process to settle the crisis. In this regard, we welcome the IGAD's decision of July 2017 to revitalize the access. I, as leader of SPLM-IO, I immediately constituted a peace delegation to engage in the high-level revitalization forum process. Despite the fact that I was under what you call confinement يعني أنا كنت في حالة يمكن أنا كان برفض، أنا ما أكون لجنة للتفاوض لأن ما كنت حر، ولكن لأننا إحنا عايزين سلام أنا قلت حالتي ما نربط حالتي بسلام في جنوب السودان. طالما في ناس بيقدر يفاوض وبيقدر يجيب السلام حتى إذا حالتي شيء مختلف أحسن ناس يمشي قدام. سوري احنا مشينا قدام. In this, I would like to thank in person His Excellency Dr. Abiy Ahmed Ali, the Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, for taking the courageous decision of extracting me from that confinement to engage in face-to-face meeting with my brother President Salva Kiir, my Yedid, in order for us to end the impasse. في الوقت ده ما كان في تقدم، ولكن بقرار تاع رئيس الإثيوبي ده خلانا نحن نمشي نتقدم. I would also thank the heads of IGAD and the government for delegating and mandating President al-Bashir to continue the face-to-face meetings and mediation and to take the lead in the process on behalf of IGAD, which led to the signing of Khartoum Peace Declaration and subsequent agreements. We appreciate the wisdom of President Uhuru Kenyatta for recognizing the need to continue the momentum that was gained in Khartoum, therefore allowing President Omar al-Bashir to continue with the process. We thank President Omar al-Bashir for doing the most difficult task of persuading the parties to reach compromises in the midst of great suspicion and skepticism in the region and also in the among the regional and the international actors, and more was among us who were warring parties. Khartoum has become a hub for peacemaking now. Your Excellency, Mr. President Bashir, you have once again proven the skeptic wrong, as you did in the question of the right of self-determination and independence of South Sudan. Many did not believe you would accept the outcome of the referendum, and that you went further. You were the first to recognize the independence of South Sudan. We share the vision that you have. We say, rather two independent, peaceful Sudanese states than one war-torn Sudan. We want to thank you again that you have helped us to bring peace to our country. Mr. President, we also want to thank your competent mediation team led by your able foreign minister, Dr. Didiri Mohammed Ahmed, for their hard work and the tremendous efforts to pull former warring parties together to cross the finishing line. I also want to thank His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni for his unwavering commitment in supporting this peace process. He was always on call to assist to break the deadlock. For example, we had 8-hour marathon meeting in the State House at Entebbe, where a number of compromises were made. Mr. President, we thank you very much. We also want to thank the presidents of the Republic of Djibouti and Somalia for their active participation in the process of peace in South Sudan. We also want to thank the AU, its chairperson, and the chairperson of the African Union Commission, who remain seized in search for peace in South Sudan. We also thank the Secretary General of the United Nations and the members of the UN Security Council and the Special Envoy of the Secretary General of the UN to Sudan and South Sudan. We also thank the Troika, which is the three countries, Norway, UK, and US, Europe, and also European Union, and the IGAD Partners Forum, China, and also the 5 African countries, Algeria, Chad, Nigeria, Rwanda, South Africa. This group was led by South Africa. We thank them for their support. I want to thank Ambassador Dr. Ismail Wise, the IGAD Special Envoy for Sudan, for South Sudan, and his team for exerting efforts in the peace process. he spoke to you before. We thank you, the civil society, the South Sudanese civil society, both inside and outside, particularly women, youth, and the faith-based groups. They had sleepless nights pushing everybody to come to peace. أنا عايز أتحول لعربي. ليه وقعنا السلام؟ وقعنا السلام عشانكم. الزول البجي انتم من الصباح قاعدين هنا. الناس كلهم تعبانين. لما الرئيس عمر البشير في يوم بتاع افتتاح المحادثات قال لكل الجنوبيين القاعدين في الخرطوم كان في حش كبير بس لأنهما سمع أن في محادثات عن سلام في خرطوم جو بدون ما نحن نعبيهم لأن نحن ما عندنا حقية أن نعبي ناس في السودان ولكن من تلقى نفسهم جو تعبيرهم زي تعبيركم عايزين سلام والوقت ده ما كان في سلام نحن كنا لسه متشاكلين نحن كنا مختلفين عشانكم نحن وقعنا السلام. أنا جيت في المنصة دي شايل الورقة بتاع السلام ده الورقة دي شايله معي لأن أنا عايز آخذ المنبر ده عشان إحنا نروج نشرح مضامين الموجود في السلام ده. أولا أنت هتكون عندك جيش موحد جيش ما يسيطر عليه قبيلة واحدة جيش كلكم يمثلكم هيكون عندك شرطة موحد يعكسنا قبيل لما جيتوا هنا مارين أمام الروسة قبائلكم برقصاتكم تقاليدكم وضح شوف وريتوا الناس نحن عايزين الوحدات بتاعتنا كل وحدة حامل سلاح تعكس نفس التشكيل اللي قبل شفناها ده في الاتفاقية ده موجود. بعدين في الاتفاقية دي قالوا لك نحن ندير اقتصادنا بصورة كويسة ما هتكون فيها فساد ده لأن نحن ما عايزين 3 نفر يوهما حاجات في جيبهم أحسن إذا عندنا حاجة إذا بلدنا ده فيه ثروات يمشي في المدارس يمشي في المستشفيات يمشي في شوارع يمشي في كل ريل عشان كلنا نبقى مرتاحين. نحن عايز قبل أنا شايف الناس بيكتبوا ولاياتهم نحن عايزين نقوي النظام بتاع الحكم مطلب بتاع الجنوب من زمان نظام فدرالي. الاتفاقية ده هيجيب لكم النظام الفدرالي الباقي ده هيجي يشرحوا لكم لأن قلنا للرئيس رئيس سلفا أنه حقنا إحنا نكون لجان مننا في المعارضة ومن الحكومة يمشوا لكم في الغرى يمشي يشرح الاتفاقية عشان انتم تملكوه يكون اتفاقية بتاعتكم. نحن بس الطالبين من الرئيس حاجات بسيطة. واحد وقت الحرب في ناس مسكوهم دخلوهم سجن، باقين ما حكموهم، باقين حكموهم. نحن من نطالب أن الناس ديل يحتفلوا معنا سلامنا، يطلعوا برا. بعدين الزول السجين الروسة ديل عارفين لما نكون في مناسبة كبير زي دي، حتى الحرامي ذاته بده فرصة عشان يمشي يعتدل يفكوه. خليك من الزول اللي بقول أنا عندي رأي سياسي في كيفية الدولة يديروها. نحن بس طالبين من الرئيس أنا حقه تعمل ده عشان سجوننا يكون فاضي، وإنتم تبدأوا حياة جديدة في سلام. ده مطلب واحد. اثنين، في وقت الحرب في قانون اسمه قانون طوارئ. قانون الطوارئ ده الجيش والقوات الأمنية بيعمل أي شيء، ولكن في سلام الناس برجع لقانون بوليس يابو يكون المسؤول، بوليس يابو يكون المسؤول، وده يخليك بقبضك إلا إذا أنت ارتكبت جريمة. إذا ارتكبت جريمة البوليس بمسكك. نحن عايزين أنا حال الطوارئ ده يطلعوا عشان زول من تركيكا، زول جاي من تركيكا لما يجي في البوابة هنا، البوابة ذات لازم يكون ما في، وجاي من تركيكا هناك ما في زول يسأله. إذا هو طالع من جوبا ماشي تركيكا أو ماشي لبنان ما في زول يسأله. ده الوقت الناس بكون عارفة أننا في سلام. سقونا للرئيس يا سيد الرئيس عشان نحن اللي حملنا سلاح خايفين. نحن عايزين أن قانون الطوارئ ده يكون ما في نرجع لقانون أن نحن بدينا يوم داك الوقت اللي ما كان فيه حرب. دي حاجة لناس. الثاني، في وقت الحرب ما في نشاط سياسي بيعملوه لأن راس ناس في حرب. نحن عايزين أن طالما بقى سلام فيه، لو في واحد جاء قال أنا آيو وهو جاء في الميدان هنا يقول فيفا SPLM آيو فيفا، ما يمسكوا زول لأن في سلام، لأن في سلام. ده برجع ناسنا كله، ده برجع ناسنا كلهم. إننا هسه 1.5 مليون في بلد الرئيس مسبني في يوغندا جرو. إننا 2 مليون في السودان جرو. أنا باي ذا واي أنا جيت مع سلاطين سوا، سلاطين من اللي بشوفوا أهلنا هناك في السودان. واحد من السلاطين هو من شمال بحر غزال، قال لي تعرف إننا تقريبا أكثر من 200,000 من شمال بحر غزال. نحن ما هربنا من الحرب، نحن هربنا من جوع. نحن بلد غني، نحن عايزين الناس ديل يرجعوا. الفلسوبيا يرجع، الفلكينيا يرجع، وكلنا في سلام نجي نبني البلد، نجي نبني البلد عموما. لأنك قالوا لي زمنك 5 دقائق، أنا هجيب نقول فيفا SPLA آيو فيفا SPLM فيفا ساوث سودان فيفا سلام. سلام عليكم.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That was a speech from Dr. Riek Machar. Of course, during his speech, he asked people of South Sudan to uphold to the revitalized peace agreement, and he said he is in Juba, and the opposition groups are also in Juba, just for sake of peace, and to show the people of South Sudan that peace is in the heart of the opposition, and they are ready and committed to implement this peace. And he called on the international community, called on IGAD, called on Troika to support the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement. And now, viewers, we are having next speaker who will also keep on.
President of the Republic of South Sudan. Your Excellency Mr. Omar Hassan al-Bashir, President of the Republic of Sudan. Your Excellency Mr. Yoweri Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. Your Excellency Muhammad Abdullah Muhammad, President of the Republic of Somalia. Your Excellency Mrs. Sahla Work Zawidi, President of Ethiopia. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Allow me at first to convey to your Excellencies the greetings of His Excellency Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, President of the Republic of Egypt, and express my pleasure to be among you today, and my sincere appreciation for the warm welcome and hospitality of the government of South Sudan. Today, we all came to celebrate the signing of the revitalized peace agreement and to express the support and commitment of our countries to work together with the South Sudanese government to achieve peace, stability, and prosperity for the people of South Sudan. In the search of peace and a lasting resolution of the conflict, Egypt has chosen to endorse the path of negotiated settlement in South Sudan since the eruption of the conflict in 2013. We also undertook to implement a comprehensive humanitarian assistance program that started in January 2014 and continue to provide food, shelter, and medical assistance to our people of South Sudan. In addition, more than 7 medical convoys were sent to South Sudan to provide much-needed medical services. Nevertheless, the needs to the people of South Sudan are still great and imperative. Thus, we all join hands to ensure that the resources needed for the implementation of this revitalized peace agreement are made available, so as to assist the government of South Sudan to continue executing its duty and responsibility to implement the peace agreement and restore stability for all. We remain honestly committed to this noble cause. Egypt and South Sudan share close political, economic, social, and cultural relations based on a long history of cooperation and coordination on bilateral, regional, and global issues. Even before the independence of South Sudan, Egypt has enjoyed excellent relationship with the people of South Sudan in a wide array of fields. These relations have stood the test of time, and our presence in today's celebration is vivid proof of our long-standing commitment to mutual cooperation and friendship. Let it be known clearly and without any doubt that Egypt will continue to do all that's required to assist our brothers in South Sudan to make peace a reality. We are willing to assist in the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement, including the establishment of the cantonment sites, the training of the new South Sudanese army, the program for DDR, in addition to our projects for development in the fields of agriculture, animal resources, fisheries, education, health, water resources, and infrastructure. The Security Council and the international community has an obligation to support and facilitate the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement and to give it the benefit of the doubt as the only viable alternative for peace signed by the South Sudanese parties and endorsed by the IGAD summit. Our shared objective today must be for the South Sudanese people to determine what concrete measures they may take collectively and individually to ensure the implementation of the peace agreement goes without hindrance. They must agree on how we can best support their efforts to restore stability and achieve economic development, bearing in mind that the people of the South Sudan cannot afford another missed opportunity to bring peace and stability to their long suffering. Mr. President, you are setting an example for all of us through your dedication, resourcefulness, and sincerity in promoting peaceful coexistence and building a nation that can stand as a symbol of achievement. There is still much work to be done in order to readdress the wrongs of the past and acknowledge the voices of the people. South Sudan is still at an early stage of gaining its rightful position in the region and the international community. And I assure you, and I assure Your Excellency and the people of South Sudan that Egypt will continue to be your partner on every step of this journey. Thank you.
كانت تلك كلمة السيد كمال المدبولي رئيس الوزراء المصري، حيث نقل تهايا الرئيس المصري عبد الفتاح السيسي لشعب وحكومة جنوب السودان، وأكد التزام الحكومة المصرية لدعم عملية السلام بالبلاد. وأيضا كذلك أوضح أن مصر قدم جسرا جويا تشمل المساعدات الإنسانية أثناء فترة الحرب، وأبان أن مصر يشارك جنوب السودان توجهه نحو السلام. وتحدث حول تميز العلاقة بين مصر وجنوب السودان، وأكد استمرارية دعم الحكومة المصرية لشعب وحكومة جنوب السودان في المجال الصحي والتعليمي والبنى التحتية وغيرها من المجالات، إلى جانب مساندة جنوب السودان في المحافل الدولية والإقليمية. وأشار أيضا إلى أن الرئيس كير يمثل قدوة للقادة الأفارقة، مشيرا إلى مكانة جنوب السودان بين دول الإقليم. نعم، نعود إلى المنصة.
Of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. She is a lady, Lady Sahle Work Zewde. Many of you will remember how, when Her Excellency arrived at this venue, will remember how our women in particular had applauded her, had stood up, and had shouted happiness. It was like, for them, another 35%. Your Excellency, President Sahle, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, President Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, Your Excellencies, heads of states and government, Excellencies, heads of parties of the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan, ambassadors, representatives of international organizations, invited guests, brothers and sisters of South Sudan. It is indeed a great honor for me to be here today at the mausoleum of the great leader and father of the Republic of South Sudan, John Garang Mabyor. to attend a truly historic event. An event not only to celebrate the signing of the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan, but also an event to see the South Sudanese parties who have been in conflict for the last 5 years repent on what they have been in and vow that they will never go back to it. Dear people of South Sudan, particularly the most affected and vulnerable women of this country, children, youth, and the elderly who have borne the brunt of the protracted conflict, you should congratulate the South Sudanese parties for finally choosing peace over conflict, development and prosperity over destruction, bright future over years of agony. We are all heartened by the new spirit forged by all conflicting parties. We also urge the South Sudanese parties to keep the promise that they gave in Addis Ababa on the 12th of September 2018 when they signed the revitalized peace agreement. We celebrate today an event of trust building among the parties and the people of the Republic of South Sudan. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, even though IGAD has worked thoroughly to push the parties to have a common position towards signing the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan, the commitment of the Sudanese parties was very crucial. On behalf of the IGAD chairperson, I would like to thank and congratulate the Transitional Government of National Unity and the opposition parties for their commitment for peace. I also want to thank and congratulate the Republic of Sudan and Your Excellency President Omar Hassan al-Bashir and other IGAD member countries and their leaders for their perseverance and hard work towards a peaceful South Sudan. My appreciation goes also to the IGAD Special Envoy and his task force, the leadership of the Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission, and the ceasefire and transitional security arrangements, monitoring and verification mechanism for their role in the peace process. Last but not least, allow me also to thank the African Union, the United Nations, partners and other friends of the people of South Sudan for their unwavering support during the more than 16-month-long high-level revitalization forum peace process. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, many seemed skeptical of the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement. Although past experience could lead us to being skeptics, the fact that the current agreement was signed by all gives us hope. Positive developments that we have seen since the 12th of September are also indicators of the bright future of the agreement. And indeed, fighting has significantly reduced across the country. The National Pre-Transitional Committee and other pre-transitional institutions are on the process of being established. The Transitional Government of National Unity and the opposition parties have already started working together in these committees for the full implementation of the agreement. These are signs of seriousness of purpose on the side of the parties. However, since we have to go a long way forward, stronger commitment from the Transitional Government of National Unity and the opposition parties is still needed to realize the agreement goes according to the agreed matrix. Implementing the pre-transitional activities is tantamount to setting basic foundations for the 13-month-long transitional period. Unless trust among the parties is built during the pre-transitional time, it would be difficult to proceed through to the transitional period. The longer the pre-transitional period takes, the chances of sustainability of the achievements registered becomes weaker. Therefore, not only IGAD, but also the wider international community have to work with full commitment for the success of the pre-transitional period. Any party which drags its feet on the implementation of the signed agreement must be labeled as spoiler of the peace process and bear responsibility for any action by IGAD and the international community. In addition to the fund that should be allocated by the government, the financial and expertise support from partners of IGAD is critical. We believe this is a process that had not only a regional but a global attention and support. Hence, we also urge our partners to recommit to this noble cause. IGAD will do whatever it can so that the peace process will culminate in a democratic election through which the world and indeed the people of South Sudan eagerly waiting for. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, finally, I want to appeal to all the parties, particularly the armed groups of all sides, to completely silence the guns, no matter how long the intensity of fighting is. To also allow the refugees and IDPs to come back home, disband the protection of civilian sites, and release all political and security detainees. In this regard, Ethiopia would like to congratulate His Excellency President Salva Kiir for the bold steps he has taken to build confidence. Similar appreciation goes to all opposition parties for responding in the same way. We wish you a successful and enduring transition that will lead South Sudan to a peaceful and prosperous nation, many who have sacrificed their life for. Thank you very much.
المشاهدون الكرام، كانت تلك كلمة رئيس الأثيوبي السيدة سهلة، حيث أعربت عن سعادتها لمشاركة شعب جنوب السودان احتفالاتهم بضريح الراحل الدكتور جون جرانغ، وأشارت إلى الدور الطليعي للمرأة، مناشدة إياهن إلى الوقوف خلف الرئيس كير الذي وقع على اتفاقية السلام. وأكدت الرئيس سهلة على أهمية التزام الأطراف الموقعة على تنفيذ بنود هذه الاتفاقية، وناشدت الإيجاد إلى تفعيل الآليات الخاصة بتنفيذ بنود الاتفاقية، لا سيما آلية وقف إطلاق النار ومفوضية إعادة الدمج. وتطرقت الرئيس الأثيوبي إلى الجهود التي ينبغي بذلها من أجل بلوغ الغايات المنشودة، وناشدت سيادتها دول الإيجاد والمجتمع الدولي إلى ضرورة ضخ الأموال لدعم برامج عملية السلام وتسهيل عودة النازحين واللاجئين إلى الديار. الآن عودة إلى المنصة.
Your Excellency Salva Kiir, President of the Republic of South Sudan, Your Excellency Yoweri Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency Omar Hassan al-Bashir, President of the Republic of Sudan, Your Excellency Sahla Work Duwaida, President of Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Your Excellency Mustafa Kemal, Prime Minister of Egypt, Excellencies, distinguished dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's a great honor for me to be part of this historic and an extraordinary celebration of peace here in Juba. Mr. President, thank you for your warm welcome and hospitality according to me and my delegation. As a signatory to the peace deal, this celebration gives me immense hope that protracted disagreements and tension is finally over. This clearly shows that South Sudan is committed to revitalized agreement on the resolution of conflict. This is indeed a momentous occasion. It's a noble cause that's intended to bear the fruits of harmony, coexistence, and sustainable peace and prosperity for South Sudan and indeed for our region. I applaud IGAD's collective efforts, President al-Bashir and President Yoweri Museveni's commitment and dedication, and all those who made the agreement possible. A peaceful and prosperous South Sudan means progress for the entire region. Excellencies, please allow me to share a little bit of history with you about Somalia. We had been through the ugly effects of civil war and conflicts. We had witnessed decades of war. We know what it caused and consequences, the death and destruction, the refugees and displacement, the breakdown of government and institutions. We are still reeling from the effects of prolonged conflicts. Civil war is the worst thing that can happen to a country, and more so to a country as young, as unhopeful as South Sudan. The real cause of peace is known to be one who has lost it. Even as we celebrate this remarkable agreement of peace, let's all remember that no deal is always perfect. No arrangement is without flaws. No negotiation is perfectly balanced. That's why the real test of leader is to have the nobility to make concession and put this country and his people first. In Somalia, it took us nearly 2 generations to put our house in order. In our period of chaos, the world did not wait for us. Countries prospered, multilateralism expanded, and neighbors developed. And now we are realized that we need to double our effort and speed up development effort to make up for the years that we lost during the civil war. I would not wish the same for our brothers and sisters in South Sudan. You have shown a great statesmanship in coming together to end the protracted conflict. I urge you to join hands to steer your country into the right path towards peace and development. Somalia is proud to have huge stake in the peace arrangement between our neighbors of Horn of Africa. Somalia is promoting in an effort to realize a complete economic integration for the region in order to end poverty and conflict in the Horn of Africa. President Salva Kiir has already engaged regional economic integration by hosting Somali entrepreneurs to do business here in South Sudan, and we thank you. I believe we can do more together. Let's broaden our scope in economic cooperation and regional security. The issues that affect us individually also affect us collectively. Now more than ever, we need to consolidate our collective contributions with the common goal of peace and security and promote economic opportunity for all our people. I thank you.
Thank you.
نعم مشاهدينا الكرام، كانت تلك كلمة الرئيس الصومالي حيث ناشد الجميع للعمل معا من أجل السلام، وأشاد بالجهود المتضافرة من قبل الرئيسين البشير وموسفيني وقدرتهما على رأب الصدع بين الأطراف المتصارعة في جنوب السودان. وأيضا أشار إلى أن الصومال مثل جنوب السودان ذاق مرارات الحرب، وناشد الأطراف الموقعة إلى أن يكونوا قدوة لشعب جنوب السودان نحو التنمية والاستقرار. الآن أعود بكم إلى المنصة.
Many of you here it might have not been now that we are celebrating this agreement. It has been with the huge efforts of President Bashir that our warring parties managed to come to an agreement. This has been noted by our people, and one of the big institutions, our number one institution of higher learning in South Sudan, the University of Juba, decided to honor President al-Bashir by giving him an honorary doctorate. That is going to be announced. That is going to be announced by the President of the Senate of Juba University, former Vice President, and the first South Sudanese Vice Chancellor of Juba University, Sayed Moses Machar Kachwal, and the current Vice Chancellor of the University of Juba, John Akeja Aprod. This is the program that will come now, and immediately after it, our women have insisted that they want the foreign leaders who are here with us now, our friends, to be honored by them, the women. The women have selected a number of their colleagues to come and present to each of our foreign guests who are here some gift representing our traditional lawa of South Sudan, with some beads carrying the sign of a dove flying. These two will follow immediately after the award to President al-Bashir. So now I would like the leaders of the University of Juba, the 4 professors here, 5, 6, would you please take the right turn and go up? Right turn, Professor Machar, go that way and come from the west.
Viewers of SSBC, from wherever you're tuning in, we're still coming to you live from Dr. John Garang Museum, and the program as is still proceeding. His Excellency Umar Hassan Ahmad al-Bashir will be shortly be given an award of doctorate by the University of Juba for being a champion who has been supporting peace effort in the country. And Umar Hassan Ahmad al-Bashir, of course, was among the people who supported the peace in our country, and for that reason he is entitled to be given an award by the Vice Chancellor of University of Juba, that is Professor John Akech, who will be handing over to him the award shortly. And of course, remember a few speakers who spoke in this very event. We are talking about the President of the Republic of Ethiopia, who urges the political parties to be committed in ensuring that the revitalized peace agreement is implemented. And our viewers, let's go to the podium where the award is being given to Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir.
Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir, the President of the Republic of Sudan. Your Excellencies, the heads of the states present, Your Excellency, the Special Representative of Secretary General of United Nations, Your Excellency, the Representative of African Union, Your Excellency, the Representative of IGAD, heads of political parties present, honorable ministers, distinguished guests, all our citizens, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. My name is John Aprod Akech. I'm the Vice Chancellor of University of Juba. I'm here to read the citation of the award of Honorary Doctorate of Philosophy in Peace Diplomacy to His Excellency Field Marshal Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir, President of the Republic of South Sudan. I am accompanied by my chair of University of Juba Council, Professor Moses Machar Kachwal, who was the former Vice President of Sudan. Also with me is Professor Vanessa Moladiang, the University Advisor for Community Outreach. With me is Professor John Myrie Blacking, the University Academic Registrar. Also with me is Dr. Kurwel, the Registrar for Administration and Finance. And with us also is the Director of Institute of Peace, Development and Security Studies, Dr. Leben Nelson Morrow. And finally, with us is the Dean of Medicine, Dr. Mayan Achek. On behalf of the administration and my colleagues and the deans of University of Juba and the Senate, I'm going to read the citation. After that, the Chancellor of University of Juba, together with the Chair of the Council, will hand over the award to His Excellency Field Marshal Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir, President of the Republic of Sudan. The citation reads, "It is with great honor that today the University of Juba presents an award of honorary doctorate to His Excellency Field Marshal Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir, the President of the Republic of Sudan, in the recognition of the role His Excellency has played in the event leading to the independence of South Sudan and of reason in restoring peace to South Sudan. President al-Bashir oversaw many initiatives and rounds of peace negotiations to bring about peace and stability throughout Sudan. Committed to the cause of peace since assuming the leadership of Sudan, President al-Bashir initiated the National Dialogue Convention for Peace in Sudan in 1989, in which a host of stakeholders from all over Sudan participated. President al-Bashir oversaw the lengthy process of negotiating peace in South Sudan with the Sudan People Liberation Movement, Sudan People Liberation Army, since Abuja in 1994, to bring an end to the conflict in South Sudan. He demonstrated his unwavering commitment to the goal of realizing peace in South Sudan, under his auspices during different phases of negotiations in Kenya, starting from Machakos in 2002 to the signing of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement in Naivasha in January 2005. It was under the leadership of His Excellency that the Comprehensive Peace Agreement negotiation was started, concluded, and signed. It was the signature of His Excellency that gave impetus to the Comprehensive Peace Agreement. After the signing of the CPA, President al-Bashir followed through the implementation of the CPA during the transitional period from 2005 to 2011. His Excellency President Omar al-Bashir endorsed the referendum that paved the way to the independence of South Sudan. And when the people of South Sudan voted for independence, His Excellency President al-Bashir was the first to recognize and accept the choice of the people of South Sudan. This made it easier for the rest of the world to follow suit. Not only that, President al-Bashir joined the people of South Sudan in the celebration of the proclamation of independence on the 9th July 2011, where he pledged his support to the people of South Sudan to build their country. Following the outbreak of conflict in South Sudan in December 2013, many South Sudanese sought refuge in Sudan. President al-Bashir provided all kinds of support and assistance to South Sudanese refugees and issued an unprecedented order to treat South Sudanese refugees as Sudanese citizens, giving them the right to work, to education, to health services, to ownership of property, and the freedom of movement. He also rejected placing South Sudanese in refugees camps in Sudan. President al-Bashir also offered to host the peace talk to revitalize the agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan in Khartoum after the stalemate of talks in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. This step was followed by facilitating a face-to-face meeting between President Salva Kiir Mayardit and Dr. Riek Machar in August 2018. The meeting put peace process in South Sudan in the right direction. The relentless effort, energy, and enthusiasm of His Excellency al-Bashir over the last 6 months led to the conclusion and signing of the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan in Khartoum. It is the result of this effort that a grateful nation of South Sudan are celebrating today, October the 31st, 2018. This support for the people of South Sudan in their quest for lasting peace and at the most difficult time in our history as a sovereign nation confirms His Excellency's belief that the people of South Sudan and Sudan are one people in two countries. President al-Bashir's quest for peace to reign in the whole of Sudan has not been confined to South Sudan only. He also supported the efforts to bring peace to Eastern Sudan in 2006. Working with the African Union High-Level Implementation Panel, President al-Bashir has tirelessly been exerting efforts to negotiate with the SPLM-SPLA North in order to bring a lasting peace in Darfur, Southern Kordofan, South Blue Nile, and all regions of Sudan. As a peacemaker at regional level, President al-Bashir is now working on mediation process to end conflict in Central African Republic. President al-Bashir was the Chancellor of the University of Juba for over 20 years, and under his auspices, counsel and guidance, his wise counsel and guidance, the university witnessed unprecedented growth and expansion. As a message of appreciation to His Excellency President Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir for leading Sudan to the signing of the CPA, his management of the transitional period, the conduct of South Sudan of referendum, his recognition of the independence of the Republic of South Sudan, his commitment to support South Sudanese to build their country, his role in ensuring peace and stability in South Sudan, his commitment to peace in two Sudans and the region, and as the Chancellor of the University of Juba from 1989 to 2011. The Senate of the University of Juba, in its sitting number 216 on October the 30th, 2018, awards His Excellency Field Marshal Omar Hassan al-Bashir Field Marshal Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir, President of the Republic of Sudan, an honorary doctorate of philosophy in peace and diplomacy from its Institute of Peace, Development and Security Studies. The doctorate of philosophy in peace diplomacy from its Institute of Peace, Development and Security Studies. Now I invite the chairman to hand over.
نعم المشاهدين الكرام، الآن تم تكريم المشير عمر حسن أحمد البشير من قبل إدارة جامعة جوبا بدرجة الدكتوراه في الفلسفة والسلام من مركز السلام التابع لجامعة جوبا. عودة بكم إلى المنصة.
You're still watching us on SSBC, and this was the occasion actually marking the peace celebration. And remember, Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir is being awarded with a doctorate, honorary doctorate on peace philosophy, and this is just because of his effort to support peace in our country. And that is the revitalized peace agreement that was signed recently in Khartoum and in Addis Ababa, respectively. Of course, viewers, as you can see, people are still here since morning and they are waiting for this very special day, which is happening currently. And with this, the President of Sudan, Omar Hassan
on behalf
al-Bashir,
of all of
will
you,
be delivering his speech very
citizens
shortly.
of South Sudan, who are here this afternoon, let me say Mabruk, Mabruk للمشير عمر حسن أحمد البشير للتكريم الناله من جامعة جوبا التي منحت درجة الدكتوراه في السلم والدبلوماسية. مبروك General Omar. Thank you very much for everything you have done, and that has made the University of Juba to award you this honorific degree. It is a major recognition of a major achievement throughout the world. And I would like all of us here to give a big hand again to President Bashir. And now, to make Takrim come after Takrim, I mentioned before that the women of South Sudan have decided to give some symbolic awards to our guests here. So I am going to call upon these 7 ladies to come up here and honor our international guests here, the presidents who are here, the Prime Minister, and after that we will continue with the program and finish it. We will be left at that stage with only President Museveni to speak and the concluding remarks by our President. The ladies, would you please come up?
After this award of honorary doctorate on peace to His Excellency Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir, of course he will shortly also be delivering a speech to people of South Sudan concerning this very great event. And of course, viewers, we do remember that most of the dignitaries, at least a quarter of them has spoken, with the exception of His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who hasn't given his speech yet. And we also have
we will now
His Excellency Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir, followed by the President Salva Kiir Mayardit, who will be concluding the our ceremony today with his speech. Because remember, these people are South Sudanese. They came from all walks of life as they stood here at Dr. John Garang since morning, just for the sake of peace, just because they want peace in our country. And we'll be listening shortly, viewers, for a speech from His Excellency Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir, who will be delivering his speech as he's already on the podium to deliver his speech. But of course, remember, people of South Sudan are also, trying to dress him up, putting him on traditional attire, and also giving him very unique award. This is to ensure that that people of South Sudan stand with him, and people of South Sudan supports his effort in bringing all the parties, bringing all the warring parties, bringing all the communities of South Sudan and the political parties to work for peace and development. As you can see, viewers, still being dressed up by women of South Sudan who are saying, President Bashir, thank you for supporting us once again, not only during the independence, but also after the independence. And you finally today come and stood with us in realizing lasting peace. So you just see hundreds of people from all walks of life waiting and yearning for this lasting peace. And His Excellency Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir has finally been dressed up, and he will go and deliver his speech shortly after this very unique occasion. But of course, President Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir will speak shortly, but now we will go to the podium and listen for speech from His Excellency President Bashir. But before, His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni will also be given an award that is just a traditional award from people of South Sudan, as they appreciate him also for standing with people of South Sudan to attain peace in the country. Women of South Sudan once again have stood up, and they are just on the podium as they give an award, and they also put President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni on South Sudanese attire. This is our tradition that normally when there is a guest coming home, you have to make sure he or she is taken care of. And from today, President Museveni is now being dressed up in a traditional attire that is colored white, which means peace, and the green robe, which means South Sudan is green and South Sudan is fertile land for agriculture. Some of the traditional dress of South Sudan, to appreciate him also for standing with people of South Sudan since the inception of the December 2013 crisis until today. Ugandan government has stood with the people of South Sudan in all the areas of support. And Abdullahi Muhammad of Republic of Somalia will also be given an award, as he also will be dressed up in traditional attire of South Sudan. And of course, viewers, this dressing alone means a lot to people of South Sudan. It means that these are the people who are always behind the people of South Sudan. They are always standing hand in hand with the people of South Sudan to realize lasting peace. President His Excellency Muhammad Abdullah Muhammad of Somalia is now being given or being dressed up in one of the unique attire of South Sudan. As he also goes back to Somalia, you will see people of South Sudan love Somalia, and people of South Sudan will always stand with the people of Somalia, as he also expressed in the beginning during his speech that Somali government has always been appreciative to people of South Sudan, for they have always been supporting people of Somalia in different areas. Of course, as you can remember, most of the entrepreneurs are here from Somalia who are doing business in the country. And for this matter, the government of South Sudan and the people of South Sudan, especially the women of South Sudan, are saying, thank you, Muhammad, thank you for your effort, and thank you for standing with the people of South Sudan.
Congratulations
to ensure that we
President
actually realize this peace.
President of
with
Somalia.
his award, with his contribution to people of South Sudan,
the next leader
to
be honored by our women
also there is also
the woman herself.
One of the women in South Sudan,
Her
that is
Excellency
the president of Ethiopia, Saleh Works Zuwaidi, who is here, and she will be also dressed up in traditional attires of South Sudan. And as the women goes around and move next to her to dress her up and say thank you for the effort of Ethiopian government for standing with people of South Sudan all this time to support the peace effort. And of course, our viewers, through the effort of IGAT and Ethiopia, of course, they have always been there to support people of South Sudan in different areas. And for this great effort, the government of South Sudan and the people of South Sudan, especially the women, say we cannot allow your works and your effort and your support to people of South Sudan to go in vain. For this, we have to support you and say thank you for standing with us. And by the way, for her being a woman is a very great, move and great picture to people of South Sudan, especially the women, that they have seen what women can do, also can support peace effort and support stability in the country. And with this, viewers, we are expecting to actually reach the conclusion of our program shortly, because we are almost remaining with few speakers who will be giving their speeches, and then we conclude the occasion. Of course, the occasion that you remember, it starts right away from morning up to this very hour. People are here and they haven't gone.
Congratulations,
They are waiting.
Madam
to
President.
hear from their president.
You must have
His
noticed by
Excellency
now
Salva Kiir Mayardit, who
that
is
the women of South Sudan
there to
are your
give
fans.
a very remarkable
These are
speech,
people
a very movable
who have
speech
been
to people
excited
of South Sudan in this
by
very
your becoming
occasion.
a head of state. Congratulations.
We will be
Our
taking you people back and our viewers to
next
the podium,
beneficiary of
and,
these gifts
we will
will be
hear
the Prime
from the speaker. But of course, still we are having the Prime Minister of Egypt. She will also be dressed in a traditional attire, and she's going to be given an award. Of course, the women of South Sudan says we cannot leave all our guests. We can't leave none of our guests out. For this, they have to ensure that they give them whatever they will remember. If they go home, if they go to their respective countries, they will remember that people of South Sudan one day, one time, also given them what is actually showing the sign of a tradition of South Sudan. And this tradition is a tradition of peace and tradition of tranquility, is a tradition of ensuring that South Sudanese are moved to the dawn of stability and peaceful country. Of course, the Prime Minister of Egypt is now being dressed up by the women of South Sudan, and to show him that despite of the challenges South Sudan has been facing, the government of Egypt has always been there and has been supporting the people of South Sudan in different sectors. For example, they have supported health, they have supported education, they have supported, and they say they will continue also to support infrastructure. And Egypt has, of course, we do remember they have been also supported the process of the national dialogue, and they say they will always continue to rally behind the people of South Sudan to ensure that this peace is implemented in letter and spirit. And they say anything that Egypt can afford or can offer to people of South Sudan, they are always ready, and they will ensure that people of Egypt and South Sudan always walk on the same page. They work on what it takes to achieve and to implement the revitalized peace agreement. And few minutes from here, viewers, we will listen for a speech. But before we go and hear for speech from the next guest, we'll also look and see how the women of South Sudan also go around and give an award or gift to Dr. Riek Machar, who is the leader of SPLM-IO, and women are saying we are there, and I will not also forget and not leave out their son, Dr. Riek, as he is part and parcel of this revitalized peace agreement. And as you can see, viewers, Dr. Riek is now being dressed up by women of South Sudan as they tell him, Dr. Riek, thank you for also accepting the peace effort and accepting to work along with your brother, President Salva Kiir Mayardit, and the other cabinet members in the transitional government of national unity. As you see, viewers, His Excellency Dr. Riek Machar is being dressed up with traditional attires that signifies peace and signifies unity, signifies development, signifies reconciliation, and signifies forgiveness of all the people of South Sudan, as they now from today move to a different page of peace and development. And of course, viewers, people of South Sudan and the government also say will continue to offer and to support the government of South Sudan.
ولا تزال اللحظات التكريمية تتواصل هنا من داخل ضريح الراحل الدكتور جون جرينغ دي مبيور، حيث تم تكريم العديد. الآن هان لحظات تكريم سعادة الفريق أول سلفا كير ميارديت رئيس الجمهورية من قبل إدارة جامعة جوبا. نعم، الآن توشح رئيس الجمهورية بثوب أبيض لعلها تتخذ العديد من المعاني والدلالات. نعم، الرئيس سلفا كير يتوشح البياض إيزانا بانطلاقة عملية السلام بالبلاد. ولا ننسى أيضا أن نشير ونشكر أيضا الأطراف الأخرى التي وقعت على الاتفاقية. الآن كما تشاهدون مشاهدينا الكرام لحظات تكريم السيد رئيس الجمهورية، مثلما تم تكريم رئيس الوزراء المصري، رئيس أثيوبيا، أيضا الصومال، والعديد من القادة الأفارقة الذين حضروا هنا اليوم، من بينهم موسيفيني والعديد من القيادات التي تم تكريمها هنا. وهذا يعني أن هنالك صفحة انطوت وصفحة جديدة سوف ينفتح. الآن عودة إلى المنصة الرئيسية.
They are excited about this celebration. And now, with any further ado, I'm going to call upon His Excellency President Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir, الرجل اللي صنع الاتفاقية ده مع قادتنا. سيادتك.
نعم المشاهدون الكرام، الآن كلمة المشير الدكتور عمر حسن أحمد البشير رئيس الجمهورية. وكما تعلمون تتميز العلاقة ما بين جنوب السودان والسودان الذي كان سودانا واحدا في يوم ما من الأيام تحت قيادة هذا الرجل، والذي وافق على مضض على أن يستقل جنوب السودان وبمعنى آخر ينفصل عن السودان. ومن ثم عاد الرجل حينما اختلف الإخوة في جنوب السودان عاد ليرقب الصدع فيما بينهم ويجسر الهوة، ومن ثم يلتئم الشملان تحت
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
إلى المنصة.
الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله الأمين الأخ الرئيس سلفا كير ميارديت، الإخوة رؤساء الدول والحكومات، الضيوف الكرام، أبناء شعبنا من جنوب السودان، سلام سلفا كير ميارديت لدعوته لنا للمشاركة معاكم هذا الاحتفال الكبير وهذه الفرحة الكبيرة بالسلام، والتحية أيضا والشكر لرؤساء الإيجاد وعلى راسهم الأخ أبي أحمد علي رئيس الإيجاد رئيس جمهورية أثيوبيا الاتحادية، على أن وضعوا الثقة فينا عشان نكمل السلام في جنوب السودان. وتحية وشكر خاص للرئيس موسفيني اللي وجدنا منه حقيقة الدعم والسند اللي مكننا في النهاية أن نصل لهذه الاتفاقية، اتفاقية سلام جنوب السودان. وأيضا نشكر أخواننا الأخ سلفا كير وحكومته وكل المسؤولين في حكومة جنوب السودان وقيادات المعارضة بمختلف تكويناتهم وتنظيمات المجتمع المدني في جنوب السودان اللي كان لهم دور كبير يا جماعة في أنه نحن نصل لاتفاقية السلام. وأيضا أشكر أخواننا في جامعة جوبا، وجامعة جوبا دي يا جماعة زي ما عارفين واحدة من جامعاتنا العريقة في السودان. فده تكريم الواحد يعتز به. وأيضا أشكر النساء وخاصة أخواتنا الشكاويات اللي لبسونا اللبس الجميل ده. نحن حقيقة سعداء، سعداء لأنكم انتم سعيدين، ونحن مبسوطين وفرحانين لأنكم انتم مبسوطين وفرحانين. لأنه زي ما عارفين نحن كان عندنا موقف واضح جدا، موقف من السلام. وأنا زي ما بقول دائما احنا ضحينا بوحدة السودان عشان سبب واحد، هو السلام. السلام اللي بيجيب الأمن والطمأنينة لكل مواطن في جنوب السودان والسودان. واتذكر تماما بعد توقيع اتفاقية السلام في نيروبي في 2005 أنا من نيروبي جيت الميدان ده ووجدت الحشود هنا في الميدان ده واحتفلنا مع بعض لتوقيع اتفاقية السلام، والتزمنا بالاتفاقية وطبقناها بند بند وحرف في حرف لغاية ما وصلنا مرحلة الاستفتاء. وقبل الاستفتاء ب5 يوم أنا جيت جوبا، وناس كثيرين كانوا خايفين، بل ناس كثيرين كانوا موقنين تماما أنا حاجي جوبا وحقول ما في استفتاء. لكن جيت جوبا ومن جوبا أعلنت أن الاستفتاء حيقوم في مواعيده، ونحن حنكون ملتزمين بنتيجة الاستفتاء، لأنه نحن ادينا الخيار النهائي للمواطنين في جنوب السودان أنه يختاروا بين الوحدة أو بين الانفصال، وكان خياركم الانفصال ونحن أيدنا وجينا تاني احتفلنا معاكم هنا. وكانت أول دولة تعترف بحكومة استقلال جنوب السودان، وأول سفارة كانت سفارة السودان. لما حصلت المشاكل كان عندنا موقف واضح من أول يوم. نحن كنا مع إيقاف الحرب، كنا من أول يوم مع المواطن الجنوبي، وقلتها أنا للشعب السوداني أن المواطنين من جنوب السودان لما يجوا السودان ما لاجئين، هم نازحين في وطنهم. نحن شعب واحد موجود في دولتين، ما في معسكرات لاجئين، ديل المواطنين من حقهم أنه يتحركوا في كل موقع. والآن أبناء أخواننا ومواطنينا من جنوب السودان موجودين في كل مكان. أنا بقول الكلام ده لأنه نحن مرتبطين وجدانيا، وأنا عندي مسؤولية أخلاقية، ليس تدخل في حكومة جنوب السودان، وإنما مسؤوليتي أنا كنت رئيس للسودان الموحد، وأنا كنت رئيس للحكومة اللي وقعت اتفاقية السلام، وأنا كنت رئيس الحكومة اللي نفذت اتفاقية السلام. عشان كده عندي التزام، عايز أشوف أي مواطن في جنوب السودان آمن مستقر يستمتع بمستوى معيشي وخدمات وتنمية. وجنوب السودان بلد غنية يا جماعة، ممكن توفر عيش كريم لكل مواطن. تأكدوا نحن حنقيف معاكم لتطبيق اتفاقية السلام، وحنرعى تطبيق اتفاقية السلام. وأنا أشكر كل القيادات الجنوبية اللي وضعت ثقتها فينا أن نكون راعين لهذه الاتفاقية. تأكدوا ما هيهدى لنا بال إلا بعد ما نشوف البندقية وقفت تماما، وأنه ما في بندقية في جنوب السودان إلا في يد القوات النظامية، في القوات المسلحة والشرطة والأمن. ما هيهدى لنا بال إلا بعد ما كل اللاجئين والنازحين يرجعوا لبيوتهم. الآن نحن في المرحلة الأولى طبقنا اتفاقية السلام، والمرحلة الجاية هي تطبيق اتفاقية السلام. عايزينكم تتوحدوا مع بعض، تعيشوا مع بعض. الاتفاقية دي حقتكم انتوا، ما حقت سلفة ولا ريك مشار ولا كل القادة اللي وقعوا عليها. الاتفاقية دي حقت المواطن الجنوبي الموجود معانا هنا، الموجود في الغابة، الموجود في النازحين، الموجودين في خارج جنوب السودان. عايزين نزيل آثار الحرب، وآثار الحرب أولا تبدأ بما علق في النفوس. عايزينكم تتصالحوا وتتصافوا وتتصالحوا مع بعض، وتخطوا يد في بعض، يدكم في بعض، عشان ما تحققوا السلام الشامل لكل مواطن. عايزين كل الناس يرجعوا بيوتهم، عايزين الأطفال يمشوا المدارس، مزارعين يمشوا مزارعهم، والرعاة يمشوا لواكاتهم، وأي زول يتحرك زي ما عايز بحرية كاملة داخل جنوب السودان وبأمن وطمأنينة. نحن معاكم وبيكم حتبنوا إن شاء الله السودان، جنوب السودان الجديد. نعم، جنوب السودان الجديد الكل المواطنين فيه متساوين، كلكم واحد، كلكم مواطنين، كلكم مسؤولين عن أنه تحققوا السلام، لأنه أنتم المستفيد الأول من السلام، وأنتم اللي بتدفعوا ثمن الحرب. مرة ثانية نقول لكم مبروك، وألف مبروك السلام، ونحن معاكم إلى أن يتحقق السلام الشامل إن شاء الله. ونحن على يقين أن القادة السياسيين وقادة المجتمع المدني اللي وقعوا الاتفاقيات هم أحرص الناس على هذه الاتفاقية. أنا متأكد الناس ديل الآن ملتزمين بالسلام، وحيحققوا لكم السلام، وحيجيبوا السلام، وإن شاء الله بعد فترة وجيزة حنجي نحتفل معاكم هنا وفي بقية مدن جنوب السودان، في ملكال، في واو، في كل موقع نمشي نحتفل بالسلام اللي تحقق إن شاء الله. نحن هنعينكم ونقيف معاكم، وكل أبناء السودان وخبرات وإمكانيات تحت تصرفكم أقصى الفكير، وكل القيادات والمواطنين نحن تحت تصرفكم عشان نقيف معاكم، عشان نجيب السلام. نحتفل مرة ثانية نقول لكم مبروك عليكم السلام، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
This was a speech from His Excellency Umar Hassan Ahmad al-Bashir, who actually talked well, and he said the most important thing, he urged the people of South Sudan to own and take the peace in their heart and reconcile with one another, forget the past and open a new chapter of peace and embrace each other. He said he wanted to see South Sudan, a South Sudan that is full of, development, full of stability, full of transparency, full of, equality in all the aspects. He also said he is always there to stand with the people of South Sudan to ensure that this revitalized peace agreement is implemented in letter and spirit. He urged the opposition groups, he urged the government, and he urged the people of South Sudan to work all hand in hand to ensure that this peace is implemented. Omar Hassan Ahmad al-Bashir also said he would continue to actually do all he can as the president of Sudan to ensure that people of South Sudan who are even in Khartoum, who are even in Sudan, are supported and always work with them to support their effort. And His Excellency Omar Hassan Ahmad al-Bashir also said the people of Sudan would always be in relations with the people of South Sudan no matter what happened. And he said South Sudanese and Sudanese are always one people in two different countries. And for this effort, Omar Bashir said he was among the first presidents or the first country to recognize the reconciliation and prosperity finally takes place in the country. Viewers will go to the podium and listen to a speech from His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni of Uganda as he marched to deliver his speech in this very unique and historic event, as Museveni and his government has also contributed a lot to peace and stability in the country. His effort can be recalled that Ugandan government has always been in engaging the opposition, the government in face-to-face talk to ensure that they revitalize peace deal.
إخوة في قناة الزول في صفحة الزول، ألف شكر لكم لمتابعتكم لنا هذا النقل الحي المباشر عن احتفال جنوب السودان باتفاقية السلام التي وقعت في الخرطوم، ويحتفل الآن جنوب السودان بها بحضور عدد من قيادات الدول الأفريقية، الصومال، إثيوبيا، وكذلك يوغندا، وعدد من لفيف من قيادات الدول الأخرى، وكذلك ممثلي الأمم المتحدة والاتحاد الأفريقي. نتمنى أن يدوم السلام في جنوب السودان وفي ربوع وطننا الغالي السودان. أيضا شواقون وتواقون لنرى هذه الاحتفالات لسلام جنوب كردفان، النيل الأزرق، وأيضا لدارفور الحبيبة.
The Republic of South Sudan, Your Excellency.
يوري مسفين الآن يلقي كلمته.
President of the Sudan, His Excellency the President of Somalia, the Prime Minister of Egypt, Her Excellency the President of Ethiopia, and all the people who are here today. I'm very happy to be here to join you in celebrating peace, which we signed in Khartoum the other day. I congratulate the parties, His Excellency Salva Kiir, representing the SPLM in government, and Dr. Riek Machar and the others representing the opposition. Thank you very much for attending to logic in the end. and signing this peace agreement. Actually, you were speaking Arabic with the President Bashir, which I was not following. But actually, there's what we call Kidi Rego. Kidi Rego. I'm told that in Dinka, it would be called Alel or Kur. I don't know what you call it in your Arabic, because you're Arab. Me, I'm not an Arab. I don't know how you'd call it, but it means the grinding stone. The grinding stone. That grinding stone is normally very heavy. When you carry it, it is heavy. And the people of South Sudan, for almost 4 years now, have been carrying the kid Lego of war and conflict. And now you have put it down. And we have performed ceremonies here. We have won ceremonies of peace. And African ceremonies are very, very serious. There's what we call joke in Acholi. The spirits. I don't know what you would call them in Dinka. Joke. If you make a ceremony in African traditions and you go against it, the joke will visit you and cause you problems. The spirits, the ancestral spirit. So I am sure this will be the end we hear of conflict in South Sudan. Some conflicts are necessary because you have no other way, but some are not necessary. Now, in your national dialogue, I'm sure you have been discussing whether this conflict was necessary or not, whether there was no other way. I'm sure in your national dialogue, which I know you have been having, you have been discussing this. But war is wasteful, as you know. You have lost a lot of development time. When we came here first time in 2005 for the interim government, Juba was very, very small. It was just near the river. But you can see now Juba has gone all the way beyond these mountains to the west. Why? Because you had time to build. If you had not had this war between 2013 and now, I'm sure you would have done much more than has been done. I therefore congratulate you on this peace, and I'm sure the parties and all the South Sudanese should make a covenant, like we have done with this ceremony of the beads. Make an agreement, a covenant, like the children of Israel made with God on Mount Sinai, when they got the 10 Commandments. One of the covenants should be no war to solve political arguments. There is no need for war to solve political arguments. Arguments can be solved by discussion or by elections if you don't agree. It is wrong to use war to solve political arguments among brothers and sisters. War is only for enemy. You use the word war, you use war against the enemy, but you don't use war against your brother. This is a strategic mistake. In my language, we have a proverb which says that when brothers are fighting, even if you are angry with your brother and you are wrestling, when you see him about to put his foot in a hole, you warn him, you say, don't break your leg. You are fighting him, but you don't want him to break his leg. It is therefore ideologically incorrect to use war to solve political arguments. Elections are the discussion, or elections are the right way, or a referendum. But then the elections must be fair. If the elections are not fair, they are the ones which create conditions for people thinking of other ways of solving problems. Then there's also the question of making sure that the state institutions are national, so that everybody has confidence in the parliament, in the armed forces, in the courts, and so on, and in the civil service. Now, another danger, although I don't know Arabic, but I have picked a few words of Arabic. One of the words I have picked up is Hawiya. It is very dangerous to use Hawiya in politics. Hawiya meaning identity, tribalism, racism, religious sectarianism, because then you forget something more important, which in your Arabic, I hear you call maslaha. If you spend all your time and your politics on Hawiya, you are going to be an enemy of the maslaha of the people. Finally, I am glad we have agreed. And I want to thank President Bashir, because he's the one who took the last initiative. And I'm glad you have given him a PhD in peacemaking. At one time I had differences with him, so I wanted to give him a PhD in war making, but but now we are very good friends, so he deserves the PhD in peacemaking. And I'm glad we have done it, because the foreigners who want to establish hegemony over Africa, who want to recolonize Africa, they are always using weak elements among us to come back. You would see them trying to come back. Salva Kiir and Riek Machar are all useless. They should all go away. According to these foreigners. That's what they would come and tell me. These are all useless. Salva Kiir is useless. Riek Machar is useless. They should all go away. But I am a builder. I know how to build houses. How will I construct a building without building blocks? So I said, no, what you are talking about is rubbish. But they wanted to make South Sudan become a vacuum, have no bricks to use. They wanted to make South Sudan like Libya, like Somalia. Somalia is now coming up. But for a long time, there was vacuum. So I congratulate you, Your Excellency Salva Kiir and Dr. Riek Machar and the other comrades for not allowing the greedy foreigners to come and create a vacuum in South Sudan as they have done in Libya, they have done in so many other places. Shukran, that's my Arabic. Thank you.
نعم مشاهدينا الكرام، مشاهدي SSBC، كانت تلك كلمة السيد يوري كوغيتا موسيفيني رئيس يوغندا، حيث أعرب في بداية حديثه عن فرحته لمشاركة حكومة وشعب جنوب السودان هذا الاحتفال الكبير، كما هنأ كل من الرئيس كير ومشار لتوصلهما إلى السلام، وأشار إلى روح العدائية التي تمت محوها ونسيانها، مناشدا الجميع التحلي بالإيمان. وأبان أن شعب جنوب السودان خسر الكثير بسبب الحرب، وأشار أيضا أن جنوب السودان كان بإمكانه أن يفعل الكثير في مجال التنمية لولا هذا الحرب. وقدم سيادته محاضرة فلسفية سياسية حول أسباب الحرب والسياسة، وقال إن الحرب يعني العداوة بين الإخوة، كما أبان أيضا إلى أن خسارة معاني الهوية واصفا إياها بالخطير. بالإضافة إلى الهوية أشار أيضا إلى أن هنالك المصلحة بين قوسين المصلحة الشخصية، مناشدا جميع الأطراف التي وقعت على اتفاقية السلام اعتماد المصلحة العامة بدلا عن المصلحة الشخصية. وأوضح أن هنالك رؤية استعمارية قديمة جديدة للمستعمرين من أجل استعمار القارة السمراء، وذلك من خلال تشتيت الجهود وخلق الفتن والنعرات. الآن عودة بكم إلى المنصة الرئيسية.
You, citizens of South Sudan. In the program, it was slotted that His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit would be awarded an honorary doctorate by the University of Juba. But His Excellency has asked.
نعم مشاهدينا الكرام، ونحن ننقل لكم هذه الاحتفائية الخاصة بمناسبة السلام. هان الوقت وآن الأوان ليقول قائد هذا الركب كلمته في هذه المناسبة التاريخية المهمة. الآن بعد قليل فقط سوف يلقي الفريق أول سلفا كير مايارديت رئيس الجمهورية كلمته للحشود التي احتشدت كثيرا، حتى إننا صرنا نتضعضع في الحديث. ننتظر ونترقب تلكم اللحظات. الآن عودة بكم مرة أخرى إلى المنصة الرئيسية في انتظار كلمة رئيس الجمهورية.
Peace. These will be now allowed to do that before our president starts his speech. So may I call on the women leaders say hi to our Air Force. We would like you to have the doves ready so that they are released together with the balloons. Are you ready?
Yes, viewers of SSBC, as you're still watching us live from Dr. John Garang Museum, this session will be having a number of doves and balloons to be actually left on air. With that shows the sign of peace and a sign of a new page of development in our country. And His Excellency, for a few minutes from now, he will be speaking to people of South Sudan. And the white balloons and the doves will be released on the air, as you are seeing them. There you can see, viewers. These are balloons and doves, signs of peace, signs of stability, signs of unity in our country. The balloons and the doves always marks and symbolizes peace, symbolizes new beginning of development in our country. As you can see, the doves are now flying high, and that means South Sudan will fly high from today onward and move to dawn of peace and stability in our country. Viewers, few minutes from now, we'll be taking you to the podium where we will be listening to a voice or the speech of His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit concerning today's occasion. And of course, people of South Sudan are still not able to leave this place because they say, we want to listen to our president, we want to listen to our brothers from the opposition about their commitment to peace. And our viewers will be heading to the podium as His Excellency the President marching to give his remarks concerning today's occasion. And with that, this finally will mark a new dawn and will mark the end of suffering of people of South Sudan, and it will open development and it will open stability in our country. As people, I just can't wait enough to ensure that they listen to the speech of His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Salva Kiir Mayardit, who will be speaking few minutes from now, as he's already on the podium, to actually tell the people that he is there to ensure that the revitalized peace agreement is implemented in letter and spirit, and the repeats of what took place in South Sudan, both in 2013 and both in 2016, does not take place anymore. Back to the podium to the speech of the President.
Your Excellency, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. Your Excellency, Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir, President of the Republic of Sudan.
Madam President of Ethiopia, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Excellency President Mohamed Abdullahi of Federal Democratic Republic of Somalia, Excellency Mustafa Kemal, Prime Minister of the Arab Republic of Egypt, Excellency Nasser Rita, Foreign Minister of the Kingdom of Morocco, Deputy Chairperson of the African Union, Leader of the Delegation of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Ambassador Ismail Wais, IGAD Special Envoy to South Sudan, Excellency General Taban Dengai, First Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan, Dr. James Wani Iga, Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan, Excellency Dr. Riek Machar Teng, Chairman of the SPLM-IO, Excellencies, the representatives of the parties signatory to the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan, Excellencies, members of the diplomatic corps, invited guests, comrades, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, allow me to sincerely congratulate all of you on this joyous occasion in which we are now celebrating the signing of the revitalized peace agreement on the resolution of the conflict of in the Republic of South Sudan. أنا بقول لكم شكرا كبير لأنه إنكم قعدتوا في الشمس من الصباح لكاد ما الشمس نزل في راس بتاعكم. أنا بشكركم شديد يا شعبي. The resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan under the theme Celebrating the Dawn of Peace, Appreciating Friends, Cherishing Reconciliation and Unity. Allow me also to express my deepest appreciation to each of you for attending this very important function. In the spirit of promoting peace and stability in our beloved nation, I ask you all to join me in welcoming and congratulating Dr. Riek Machar and all the opposition leaders who have shown their commitment to the peace agreement by coming to celebrate it with us here today in Juba. Their presence is a very strong testimony and proof to all that war is ending and a new era of peace and prosperity is breaking. Please welcome them wholeheartedly and make them feel free and proud at home. As you all know, our celebration of the revitalized agreement would not be possible today without the support of the region and the broader international community. In recognition of this support, please join me in welcoming to the Republic of South Sudan dignitaries from Africa and entire world. They are coming to grace this dignified celebration speaks volumes. And I personally would like to register my heartfelt appreciation to each one of them for being here. I want to especially recognize the presence of my elder brothers, His Excellency President Omar Hassan al-Bashir, President of the Republic of Sudan, and His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni of the Republic of Uganda, whose particular efforts helped in making this occasion a reality. I also would like to recognize President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, who is also the President of the African Union. He has done a lot, although he is not with us here, he has done a lot in this peace agreement. I acknowledge the presence of the heads of state and government of IGAD countries, who spend tremendous political resources to bring peace to South Sudan, especially Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, who is the chairman of IGAD, and President Uhuru Kenyatta of the Republic of Kenya, who serves as the rapporteur of IGAD. Fellow citizens, I want to thank the international community, particularly the United States and its Troika partners, the United Kingdom and Norway, China, Japan, the European Union, Russia, and the United Nations in general, and the UN Security Council in particular, for their sustained efforts to bring peace to South Sudan. طبعا يا جماعة حتى لو زول قرصك في أيام بتاع إنه أنت ما عملت حاجة كويس ما تحاسبوا به في كلام ده. الناس في ناس بقرصونا كل يوم لكن ما عندنا مشكلة معهم. ده نحن ياهو سببنا مشكلة. We were very highly respected in the world, but we brought shame to ourselves by this war, which we don't have any reason for it. I greatly appreciate the generosity of the whole world in supporting our people during the last difficult 5 years. I also want to acknowledge the heroic and selfless services of many humanitarian workers and humanitarian organizations, some of whom were caught up in the line of fire. Fellow citizens, allow me to personally thank you on behalf of the government and all of the parties to the agreement for your patience, perseverance, and resilience. You have endured immense suffering, and the weight of responsibility heavily falls on my shoulders as your president, and I deeply regret the physical, psychological, and emotional wounds you have undeservedly endured. As your president, I want to apologize on behalf of all the parties to the conflict as leadership requires acceptance of responsibility. Distinguished guests and compatriots, today marks the end of the war in the Republic of South Sudan. This war has been subjected to many analyses, and it has been given many names. For those of us who are caught in the middle of it, we know it was neither an ethnic nor an economic war, but rather a naked struggle for power with a complete disregard for constitutional order. It was a complete betrayal of our people and their liberation struggle. And this is what has warranted my apology to the people of South Sudan. The time for blame as to who started it is over. And those of us who consider ourselves leaders must accept the blame collectively and solemnly promise our people never to return them back to war again. I want to reiterate in front of all of you and in the presence of all the African and world dignitaries that the war in the Republic of South Sudan has come to an end. Dr. Riek Machar and I and all the opposition leaders who signed this agreement have forgiven each other, and we consciously decided to move this country forward, a healing process, through the healing process. I personally forgave Dr. Riek Machar on the very day when his forces stormed the State House in Juba here. I also hope that Dr. Riek Machar has also forgiven me. And to forgive is not an act of cowardice. It is both a Christian obligation and inherently human. Our fellow citizens, I want to speak directly to the South Sudanese communities. This war was not your war. It was a confrontation between the government forces and the forces of the opposition over power. Kalam da ana baqul lakum minkum sha'ab ta Juba Sudan in al-harb da ma kan harb bitakum. Dal harb بين القوات الدارين سلطة والقوات بتاع الحكومة. ده كان مواجهة بين الاثنين. إنكم ضحايا بتاع القواتين. لقيتوا نفسكم في النص. It was never about ethnic rivalry, as many in the international media would like to characterize it. This being the case, I urge you all to forgive one another, embrace one another, and bury all the differences, all the feelings of hatred once and for all. All political struggles are temporary, just as leaders are also temporary. But a nation endures. The nation remains on for good. Unite and build your country as equal stakeholders, and do not allow destructive elements to destroy your social fabric, which has endured since time immemorial. To all the people of South Sudan, whether they come from a big or small ethnic communities, my government and my party, the SPLM, are resolute in their commitment to ensuring equality of all people. By ending this war, we are recommitting ourselves to the ideals of our liberation struggle, which aim to foster a just, peaceful, democratic, and prosperous nation where all citizens are equal and treated as first-class citizens. Many of you are wondering whether this agreement is any different from the 2015 peace agreement and whether we are going to honor it. From my perspective, this agreement is different in 4 fundamental ways. One, all the parties to the conflict have realized that they could not meet their political objectives through violence, and so peaceful resolution became the only option for all the parties. Second, the mediation was impartial, more focused, and understood the issues that the parties were wrestling with, and so they provided various realistic options, and there was a sustained effort to bridge the gaps, unlike the previous rounds of negotiations. Third, the parties were not coerced into signing this agreement. Each party signed it on its own volition. Lastly, some of the provisions of the last agreement were inherently intended to divide the country, such as the creation of co-presidency and 2 separate armies in one country. In this agreement, such problematic provisions have been altered appropriately and amicably. The 4 points I have elaborated are important because they define the character and quality of an agreement. For those of you who have read my press statement issued on the 15th of September following the signing of this agreement, I made the intentions of the government very clear. First, the suffering of our people was the primary motivation for the government to seek a peaceful means to end the conflict. يعني لمن بعد ما مضينا الاتفاقية يوم 15 شهر 9 عملت مؤتمر صافي وانا قلت الحاجات في المؤتمر ده. انا قلت انه اول سبب الخلانا انه نصل للاتفاقية ده متاعب انا شفته انه شعب بتاع جنوب السودان. وكلام ده انا قلته في خرطوم. انا قلته في خرطوم انه لتيم بتاعي كان في نيغوشيشن انا قلت لهم انا داير سلام. انا جاي من جوبا وانا خليت الناس في حالة ما كويس. فيكون النقاش بتاعكم مع المعارضة whatever they want let us give it to them. كلنا نديهم. عشان كده يا جماعة إنه 4 نواب لرئيس الجمهورية. ده زي الكلام اللي كان عمله رئيس البشير لما قبل اتفاقية سلام شامل. قبلوا وعارف إنه ده اتفاقية ده ممكن هيقسم السودان. لكن لو قسم السودان وبسلام بين دولتين ده هيكون كويس بدل ما انه الوحدة تستمر والحرب تستمر. عشان كده انا قلت يا جماعة شعب بتاع جنوب السودان ده يجيب لو ده سلطات ياو اخواني ديل دارينو let us give them so that the war stops. أنا قلت برضو إنه let us make compromises, let us concede from many things. Concessions were very difficult. It was a very difficult decision to make, but I made those decisions. Now, after that, we signed the peace agreement. So I want to tell you, my people, any agreement ده بتاعكم ويلكم لازم تمسكوا قوي شديد إنه ما يخربوا تاني. أنا قلت قبل إنه الحرب ده ينتهي، فالحرب فعلا انتهى. And this celebration is a testimony to the fact that we are fully committed to this agreement, and we have all the intentions to implement it fully. لازم إنه ننفذ نحن الparties to the agreement. We must commit ourselves. And you have heard the opposition groups leaders in front of you here. They talked about their commitments. Yes, I am ahead of them. في commitment لتنفيذ بتاع بنود الاتفاقية. So we are not faking these celebrations. We are truly happy and grateful that we have successfully ended the war. In line with this, I am instructing the military and all the security forces to open all routes and allow the people to move freely as an immediate action. This will be immediate peace dividend. I appeal to the opposition leaders also to reciprocate in this, so that stopping fighting is not one-sided, and opening the routes is not from one side also. So this will facilitate the movement of humanitarian supplies, because we want all the land routes and the river route to be open. It will facilitate the movement of humanitarian supplies. Trade also will be expedited. Reconciliation, and more importantly, it will allow internally displaced persons to return to their homes. Because لو لسه في حرب ولا في ambushes في سكة ولا في landmines في سكة، المواطنين ما بتحركوا. A displaced cannot move من معسكرات بتاع UN عشان يمشي لبلد بتاعهم. The difficult work has just begun, my dear compatriots. And that is for you, the people of South Sudan, to also make bitter concessions and return to your neighbor and ask to be forgiven for any wrongs you might have done. It is until we have all accepted peace in our hearts and our minds and fully embrace each other when peace shall truly come. Peace is not necessarily the silence of the guns. Although this is a big part of it, it is the recognition and acceptance of wrongs and the difficult decision to let these things go. That truly is the definition of peace. I'm aware of the mood among our friends, particularly the Americans and the Europeans, who feel betrayed and let down by our actions. They have lost trust in us, and for that reason, they refuse to be witnesses or guarantors to this peace agreement. They feel that we are not genuine or that the agreement we have signed is impractical. As people who offered us immeasurable assistance and moral support during the struggle for our freedom, they are justified to be angry with us because of our failure to maintain peace in our country. But we have also been disappointed with the way some individual leaders of these countries have insultingly treated us. Nevertheless, it is incumbent upon us on both sides of the agreement to prove their fears and doubts unfounded by implementing this agreement sincerely, fully, and in letter and spirit. لازم إنه نغير إنه المفاهيم اللي نحن لقيناهم في زمن بتاع الحرب. Let us work hard to change our image that has been tarnished. As a government and party signatory to the agreement, we have started implementing the pre-transitional activities, and the implementation is now well on track. We have already delivered on a number of activities stipulated in the agreement as follows. One, we have constituted the National Pre-Transitional Committee, NPTC, a body that is entrusted with preparation for the transitional government of national unity at the end of eight months. The NPTC is effectively on duty now, and it has recently held its first meeting in Khartoum. Two, we also made our nomination to Independence Boundary Commission, IBC, the body that will be overseen by IGAD on the issue of states' boundaries as per the agreement. Three, as a party to the agreement, we have also nominated our members for the Joint Defense Board, JDB. Four, the government has released the prisoners of war and is still working with the agencies to find out if there are still more prisoners of war to be released. And in this occasion, I want to announce before you that we have two people whom I'm releasing now. One of them is called James Gadet. We release him, although we know he was condemned in court. حكموا بالإعدام حسب إنه activities بتاعه كان بيعملوا حكموا في المحكمة هنا بالإعدام لكن أنا بوقف الكلام ده كله ما نفذنا السنتنس. الرجل الثاني مرتزق, and we did not have any reason to keep him alive. ده مرتزق جاي من South Africa. بعد عمروا أسود في جنوب أفريقيا والسود ما إنه يشيل سلطة بقى يشتتوا في أفريقيا عشان يفتش في إنه يقتل في ناس الأبرياء. This man is here with us. Dr. Riek promoted him to be a general, but I will release him tomorrow. He will be released and deported to his own country. Many people are still surprised that this agreement has come about, that it has come about at all. الناس بيستغربوا ليه agreement ده جاء بسهولة كده. الفترة نحن بدينا به في أديس أبابا ولغاية الفترة جينا بدينا نوقف اتفاقيات في الخرطوم ده زمن قصير شديد. الناس بيستغربوا ليه الكلام ده حصل كيف. أنا ما برجع فوق تاني عشان نشرح كلام ده ليه. When African leaders talk about African problems, need also African solutions. Now, this has become the real case in our situation. We have negotiated this agreement and reached this compromise the way we know it. This peace agreement is irreversible, and those prophets of doom who are waiting for another explosion in Juba would have to find a new profession. Peace has just returned to South Sudan, and it is here to stay, and it will be here forever. في ناس إنه بيتمنى إنه السلام ده يقرب بكرة أو بالليل ده إنه يسمع إنه في شكل في جوبا. كلام ده ما بيجي ويحسن إنه البروفيت اللي بيقول الكلام ده مفروض يفكر في أي حاجة تاني. This one is gone. ما هيقدر عليه. We have said too much about our commitment to peace, but many of you are wondering how exactly we are going to do this. We have 4 strategic approaches for consolidating and sustaining peace in South Sudan. First, we initiated the national dialogue, a process that is ongoing currently, that aims to build consensus among people of South Sudan. Second, we will implement this agreement in a spirit while expanding its scope to incorporate those who are not in it. You know, there are people who have still refused to sign this agreement with us. And so, we will not leave them away for good. We will one day think of bringing them on. Al-Haja number Talata, although our financial situation is very precarious, the priority of the government will be to revive the economy and lay the foundation for critical transport, communication, power, and agricultural infrastructure before the end of the transitional period. Finally, we recognize that the image of South Sudan has been tarnished internationally, and so this government will pursue an aggressive foreign policy that aims at winning our friends and making new friends with the aim of contributing to the international peace and sustainable economic development. Today is not the day to provide detailed plans for these strategic objectives. We will have other opportunities to elaborate on them. However, I want to elaborate on national dialogue, since it is an ongoing process. When we launched the national dialogue in December 2016, many people thought that this was a political ploy to undermine a genuine political process in Addis Ababa. Now we have reached a political agreement, and I am still committed to the national dialogue process. Like I said so many times, we, the political leaders and elites, have always assumed that we speak for the people of South Sudan. But this is not always true. The national dialogue gives the people of South Sudan the opportunity to speak to us and for us. As this agreement shows, we have always dwelt on issues of power sharing to the neglect of the real aspirations of the people. As such, I am challenging all the political leaders in the country, in this country, to commit themselves to the dialogue and to listen to the voices of the people of South Sudan. Everything cannot be done by fighting, Jama. Shakala damu jao behel kul haja. Mantak na aku redwan asmau ita atakna wala yagna u ma hata chak. The national dialogue fills a missing gap in the revitalized agreement. The agreement we have signed represents only half, because it is our voice as the political leaders. The national dialogue provides the other half, voices of the people. And we have the voices of the ordinary people incorporated into the agreement, we should not be satisfied or complacent about what we have done. Given this fact, I have a proposal to make. I want all the parties to the agreement to embrace and endorse the national dialogue as a viable process. And if for any reason there are concerns with the setup or personality leading this process, we should be flexible to consider those concerns, provided that the commando's work that is already done at the grassroots should be recognized as the point of departure, and that the regional conferences and the national conference should be conducted on the basis of this new consensus. The point of the national dialogue is not a reconfiguration of power in contradiction to the peace agreement. The point is that we need a broader consensus to take us beyond the agreement and beyond the elections to come. Doing this affords us as the opportunity to serve the will and the interests of the people of South Sudan, who have spoken eloquently through the grassroots consultations. In light of this, leaders to give serious consideration to the national dialogue and to engage with the steering committee and the government in ways that will enable their full and meaningful participation. They should not just oppose this noble process simply because the government initiated it. In fact, there is a direct correlation between a revitalized agreement and the national dialogue that makes them mutually reinforcing. The activities that are being undertaken as part of the national dialogue process are identical to the process that will have to be carried out as part of the permanent constitution process under the revitalized agreement. Therefore, the national dialogue, in a sense, is a rehearsal for the permanent constitution making process. Having said that, however, let me make it clear that the leadership of the steering committee is willing and ready to take on board any genuine concerns that would make this process truly a national. I also call upon the IGAD leadership to consider the national dialogue as a mechanism for expanding the polarizing the agreement. I want to appeal to our international partners to lend support to the national dialogue so as to facilitate broad participation of our citizens. We want to have a comprehensive peace that settles all the disputes once and for all, to create a mechanism for continued political and social dialogue. I want to thank the governments of Japan, the government of Egypt, and South Africa for the financial, material, and political support of the national dialogue. I also acknowledge and appreciate the UNDP, UNMIS, and the entire UN fraternity for their support. To the steering committee, I greatly appreciate the commitment and sacrifices of our eminent statesman, His Excellency Abel Aliak and Honorable Angelo Beda for their leadership. I want to assure you that the government will continue to support your work, and the foundation of political and social stability rests with this agreement and the national dialogue combined. Fellow citizens, as I conclude this statement, I want to invite all of you in the opposition and government control control areas to join us in implementing this peace agreement. If you embrace peace among yourselves and in your families, then you are with us. If you trade among yourselves, then you are with us. If you share water points for your cattle and fishing grounds during this dry season, then you are with us. If you cease hateful statements on the social media and any medium of communication, then you are with us. If you get up and work to feed your family, then you are with us. If you put your gun away and then carry sticks, as we used to do in our country before, then you are with us also. Peace implementation does not rest with the Salva Kiir and Riek Machar. And all the political parties, political leaders, peace in your communities rests with you. Dr. Riek and I have the responsibility to tell our soldiers to cease fighting and to go back to their barracks or their camps. We have done so, and we will continue to do it. There may be still rogue elements somewhere in the bushes of South Sudan that will continue to cause harm, and it will be our responsibility to look for them with the view of bringing them on board and support the implementation of this agreement. The ceasefire among Galwing, White Army, and other community-based militias rests with the communities, and the government will work collaboratively with them. We will do nationwide disarmament. It is now, later on, nationwide disarmament, because guns are very dangerous and pose a direct threat to peace and to tranquility. I appeal to IGAD countries to continue to work with us to the finishing line. There may be times when we will quarrel or disagree, but your continued support and continued mediation is highly welcome. Your support in terms of monitoring of the permanent ceasefire is welcome. We will work very hard, very closely with you and with the UN and the humanitarian agencies to support those who are in need and to create a conducive environment for peace and economic revival. We appeal to the Security Council to review the UNMISS mandate to include capacity building and support program, as the protection of civilian mandate may become less important with the progress of this peace agreement. So we call on our development partners to resume development activities across the country. So as doing this will help us to promote peace through development. Finally, let me reiterate the fact that rebuilding our country from the ashes of this five-year war, five-year bitter conflict, is our collective responsibility. My fellow compatriots, moving forward requires us all to forgive each other for wrongs, one as well as embracing ourselves in order to chart a dignified course towards full recovery. I urge you all unreservedly support the implementation of the peace agreement and use the national dialogue to express forward-looking ideas and build a political consensus to assure in an era of peace and prosperity in our republic. Peace has come at last, and it is here today to stay. My dear compatriots, may I repeat our collective appreciation and gratitude to leaders of IGAD and the AU for their persistence in helping us realize peace. Many of these leaders are here with us today. Let us give them a big hand and a loud thank you. May the Almighty God bless you and bless the Republic of South Sudan. Before I leave the podium, I want to inform you that tomorrow you will come to your offices as usual because of the hot sun that you have endured today. And that so you stay home tomorrow and you will come to your office on Friday. Thank you very much. Juba Sudan oye. Juba Sudan oye. Salam alaikum.
Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, لحظة
نعم مشاهدينا الكرام، مشاهدي SSBC، كانت تلك كلمة رئيس الجمهورية سلفا كير ميارديت، والذي بعد أن قدم صوت الشكر لكل القادة الذين ساهموا في تحقيق هذا السلام، قال الرئيس الجمهورية سلفا كير ميارديت إن جنوب السودان كان يحظي باحترام من قبل دول العالم، ولكن ولكننا من جلب العار لأنفسنا. وقدم أيضا صوت الاعتذار لشعب جنوب السودان، وقال إن اليوم يشكل علامة فارقة لإنهاء الحرب في جنوب السودان، مبينا أن لا عودة للحرب مرة أخرى. وقال إنه والدكتور رياك مشار والأطراف التي وقعت الاتفاقية توصلوا إلى المصالحة والغفران فيما بينهم، ونادى بأهمية المغفرة. وقال إن هذه الحرب لم يكن حرب شعب جنوب السودان، وإنما كانت بين القادة حول السلطة، وناشد الجميع على ضرورة عفو بعضهم البعض. كذلك أكد رئيس الجمهورية التزام الحكومة بتحقيق العدالة والمساواة بين أبناء شعب جنوب السودان، وقال إن الاتفاقية الحالية تختلف عن الاتفاقية السابقة. ووجه سيادته الأجهزة الأمنية السماح للجميع بحرية التحرك، ودعا رئيس الجمهورية الجميع لاستقبال السلام في قلوبهم وعقولهم، وناشد إلى أهمية نبذ خطاب الكراهية والتوجه من أجل تنفيذ اتفاقية السلام. وأبان رئيس الجمهورية أن الحكومة أطلقت سراح أسرى الحرب، مضيفا أن الحكومة تعمل حاليا مع المنظمات المعنية من أجل إطلاق سراح بقية الأسرى. وأعلن رئيس الجمهورية اليوم أيضا عن إطلاق سراح الصحفي جيمس جديد، وقال إن هنالك شخص آخر لا يزال رهن الانتظار وهو من جنوب أفريقيا، وسوف يتم إطلاق سراحه وإبعاده إلى بلاده. وأكد رئيس الجمهورية التزام الحكومة التام بتنفيذ اتفاقية السلام. المشاهدون الكرام، محدثكم بول أيزك بطال شوية، ونحن ننقل على الهواء مباشرة. أحيلكم إلى الزميل غوري أنتوني. الآن لمسة الختام.
Yes, viewers of SSBC, you're still watching us live from Dr. John Garang Museum. Of course, this is a very unique celebration marking the dawn of peace, unity, and stability in our country. Of course, viewers, as you can see, heads of state from different countries, they converge on this very occasion just with a motive to ensure that they rally behind the people of South Sudan on ensuring that stability is realized in this country. Of course,
Oh God bless South Sudan. Oh God bless South Sudan. Sounds good. And you can see the entourage that actually carries His Excellency the President and the other heads of states, including President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, as well as other, dignitaries. They will be leaving this place shortly. As you can see, these are the entourage, and these are the cars that were here to bring our guests in to the venue. And as you can see, they will be leaving the place right now as they head for a dinner at Museum, that is at Freedom Hall, where the dinner will be taking place. Of course, the opposition groups are also called upon to be part and attend this very special celebration. And as you can see, viewers, people are still around and they are still, just waiting. And they couldn't leave the place. Why? Because they're still having that hope, and they're still having that emotions. They are still having that interest of how this day was. Since early in the morning, people were here, and up to this hour, they are still around. It means they are saying, we are just hungry, not for food, but for peace. This is the hunger of peace that people of South Sudan were yearning for. And today, of course, viewers will remember His Excellency said, with the presence of the opposition groups, including Dr. Riek Machar in Juba, it ushers in a new dawn. It ushers in prosperity. It ushers in stability, and it ushers in confidence building among the political parties to work together. Of course, among the political parties who have been around, those of South Sudan Opposition Alliance, the South Sudan Opposition Alliance talk about the likes of Chang Son Chan, talk about the likes of Lama Cole, talk about the like of Bakasoro, not forgetting also the rest of the opposition, Dengalor. All of them were here in this very special event to ensure that they celebrate with the people of South Sudan. And their presence here means that South Sudan has now come to realization of peace. His Excellency said, we are saying yes for peace and not for war. And this is the call of the people of South Sudan. And viewers, of course, we do want to tell you that we have our colleagues, that is Alejandro Lotok, who is in the studio. He will also be, taking us through this program as we hand the mics over to him in our main studio in SSBC. Alejandro Lotok, he will be also letting us know what actually he told all the guests who are in the studio. Please, let's join with our colleagues in Alejandro Lotok.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله أخواننا في قناة الزول في صفحة الزول. شكرا لكم للمتابعة، ونتمنى أنه نكون نقلنا لكم هذا الحدث، احتفال جنوب السودان باتفاقية السلام التي وقعت في الخرطوم مؤخرا، ونتمنى أن نرى يعم السلام في جميع أرباع ربوع الوطن القالي السودان. نتمنى أن نرى السلامة في دارفور، في جبال النوبة، في النيل الأزرق، ونتمنى أن يعم الاستقرار ربوع الوطن القالي في شمال السودان وشرق السودان ووسط السودان. نحب أن نرى هذه الخيرات التي موجودة في السودان الحبيب أن يتم الاستفادة منها لرفع وشأن وطننا القالي السودان. مبروك لجنوب السودان هذا الاحتفال وهذه الاتفاقية وهذا الوضع المميز الجميل الذي كانت صورة احتفالية في جنوب السودان، في كل مناطق جنوب السودان، وخصوصا في طرقات وشوارع جوبا. شكرا الإخوة في جنوب السودان، شكرا لكل الناس اللي كانت متابعة معنا هذا الحدث منذ بداية بثه هذا الصباح. نشكركم شكر جزيل جدا. نشكر الإخوة اللي متواجدين معنا في الصفحة من جنوب السودان ومن دول أخرى شاهدوا هذا البث وهذا الاحتفالية على صفحة قناة الزول، ونشكركم شكر جزيل. وبإذن الله سبحانه وتعالى خلوا الخير جواكم، وحبوا الخير لبعض، وحبوا السلام، وأفشوا السلام بيناتكم. أفشوا السلام حتى يعم في ربوع هذا الوطن، لنترك هذه القبلية والدقيرة وهذه العنصرية البقيدة التي فرقت بيننا كأبناء وطن واحد، فرقت بيننا داخل السودان حتى صارت شيء قبيح ننبذه جميعا. إذا نعم للسلام، yes for peace in Sudan، لا للحرب، no for war. This is the thing we want to talk about it every times. Let us support peace, let us support سلام people. خلونا نعم نتكاتف من أجل الوحدة والسلام وإشاعة الديمقراطية في وطننا القالي السودان. شكرا لكم جميعا، وإلى أن نلتقيكم بإذن الله سبحانه وتعالى في بث آخر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.